Good morning. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. We're here live for the UEFA Champions League draw and the UEFA Europa League draw. Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Manchester United will all be featuring in the next 2 to 3 hours. See who we all face in the quarterfinals of our respective European competitions. Of course, I'm joined by KJ. And of course, no Tottenham in the draws today. They are done. They are out. But we've got two big tournaments to cover. The English teams have got good opportunities in this. Big noise about Chelsea being dark horses and whatnot. But we're going to go through all of that with you. We're also going to take your live calls on the air over the next few hours. But what you need to do for me is smash the like button. You got to hit that like button right about now. The draw starts at around 11 o'clock. So that's in about half an hour's time. The Europa League draw is going to be around midday. So we're going to have a nice bit of time before and after to kind of go through everything in a little bit more detail, etc., etc., etc. But how are you this morning, mate? You good?
It's almost like getting through to the next round of Europa League feels nice. You know what I'm saying? All right, listen, now I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Yesterday was a good game. We did what we need to do. Just hearing all the rivals always move the goalposts. Apparently, yesterday we couldn't beat AC Milan. It was over for us. And now that we're through it, but the Europa League's dead, and AC Milan are dead, and that all this crap. I'm cool, isn't it? Cool, because 2 hours before the game, you were all talking about Europa League. Now you're telling me the Europa League's dead. Cool, and I see you, man. I see you, but I'm good, man. I'm good, and hopefully I'm begging. Just give us an easy draw this time. We had two hard draws. Just give us something nice before the semis, please.
I hear that. And I know that obviously David's here, massive Chelsea fan, in case anybody's new to the channel and has never met or seen David before. A huge win for you midweek, 2-0 against Ati. And I know you want the easiest draw. You want Porto today, don't you?
Oh, give me Porto. Don't give me this nonsense. Give us Bayern Munich. We're not scared. PSG. Shut up. Stop talking. All right.
Because when you go out, they'll be upset.
Isn't it? Let them fight each other, and then we can pick up the scraps. You know, we can do that. Give us Porto. Let us get comfortable. Get to that semi-final. Because you never know. A team like Dortmund can make it through, and if we draw Dortmund, suddenly you're in a final, and then anything can happen. Get to a final. What happens if you get to a final and the opposition team is, I don't know, Liverpool? Let's just say it's Liverpool. Why on earth would I want to have battled Bayern Munich in a quarter-final when the final is Liverpool? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Give me Porto and I'll be happy.
Yeah, do you know what? I get you. Now, what you're saying makes logical sense. Give me the easiest route possible to a final, the easiest final possible. Everybody wants that. I suppose from some perspective, you got this sort of thing with Chelsea fans at the minute where they feel invincible. I think what a lot of them are saying is, I want Porto, but if we get Bayern Munich, I'm not quivering in my boots. And that would be my question to you. If you got Bayern Munich, if you got City, if you got PSG, there's always nerves before a game, but would you be petrified? Would you be, no, we're going to go out? Or would you say, game on, we can beat them?
We wouldn't get slapped like we did last season, but I don't think we'd win. I think Man City's an interesting one because obviously you've got them in the league later on, so it'll be interesting to see what those games are like. But I don't want Bayern Munich. I don't think there's a need to play Bayern Munich in a quarter final because there's no. I could see PSG because, you know, we all know how UEFA love a cheeky warm ball. Let's put these two together and see Thomas Tuchel and that. Let's put Thomas Tuchel against his old club.
Arsenal style, tinfoil hats. The warm balls are real. I don't care. The tinfoil hats.
The tinfoil hat is here.
The warm balls are real.
The warm balls are real.
Why you got a bit of flat tinfoil in the bedroom?
Because basically, whenever we have midnight vibes, right, and we always talk about Arsenal, this goes straight on because there's always something going against them. So I've just got to have this all the time. Just keep it in the cupboard to the side of me.
Absolutely love it. But it's what I love about this state, and we've kind of seen this in the sort of fan reaction shows we do on the terrace. The interest in European competitions now, as we get to this stage, the interest is just hyped up. Sort of, it's just been it's the emotion that we've seen. I mean, Spurs going out last night. We'll get onto that a little bit later. You know, some of the fallout from that yesterday. Harry Kane and Jose Mourinho having a massive bust up. Hugo Lloris doing a 7-minute interview, just slamming Tottenham. That club has absolutely imploded, and I do put it all down to the appointment of Jose. Not that everything's his fault directly, but I think it's this case of people feeling disheartened at the direction the club went in, and it's just led to this poisonous situation that they're in. But it's you can see the interest really pepping up. And for me, the great thing about the Champions League is I've got no real dog in the fight as long as that makes sense. All I'm really asking for this round, I don't want any of the English teams to meet at this point. I feel like it'd be nice if I want the English. I don't want the English teams to win it because they're rivals, but I wouldn't mind us getting 3 teams to the semis because, you know, just proves again best league in Europe. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want in relation to that. Who do you make the favourites, KJ, for the Champions League right now?
For the Champions League, it has to be Bayern. They're robots. I don't think they're human. You know what I mean? Like, actually, no, I'll tell a lie. Their midfield and forward line, they're robots. Their back line is pretty human. Because them man have been hella leaky this season, not been good as last season. But now Bayern Munich, they have to be favourites. They're the reigning champions. They're blitzing their league. Lewandowski, oh my days, his goal scoring record this season is ridiculous. So they have to be favourites. Behind them is Man City. They're again another team well informed in their league. They can literally focus on the Champions League now because the league is basically done for them. So, it's going to be those 2 teams, the top 2 teams in the competition, and I can see either one of them winning it.
Yeah, a comment here from, I think you pronounce that Owen. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's pronounced that. He says, Terry getting frustrated with Alex is hilarious. Yeah, do you know what? I did lose my head last night with the panel just because they were 20 minutes late. So I couldn't restart the show till they come on. And then I asked questions and they just talk. Basically, I said, like, what went wrong in today's game? And they were basically, it felt like they were giving me the recipe to baking a cake. I just thought, what are you talking about? Like, this get to the, yeah, I was gone. I blew up. Strip Bear in the house says, super chat. Who will your team get prove you're right beforehand? Absolutely. Get your super chat.
Yeah, Terry.
Draw. I do want your predictions for the draw. Sorry, KJ. I want your predictions for the draw. I'm going to give a prize away today to the person who predicts the Champions League draw correctly via a super chat. You're going to win a special secret surprise today that I'm going to give to you, and I'm going to post out to you that if you super chat in and you get the predictions right, I'm talking bang on, then you win a prize. You'll win a My Secret shirt and you'll get some free Manscaped merchandise. Whether you want to use it yourself or give it to a friend, that's up to you. Super chat that in now and crack on. Yeah, yes, Cage.
No, I was about to say, I see. I've never thought I'd see this, but I've seen it in the chat. Fixer and eye test going at it back and forth, fam. It's amazing watch to see right now. A beautiful piece of entertainment while we're waiting for the draw. Yo, Wagwan Gem. Are you actually here to give some chest? Or are you just gonna keep being a sissy boy?
Oh, we can't do it. Everyone calm down. It's a few games.
Listen. Because I'm level-headed and I don't jump the gun, yeah? Like, calm yourselves. Like, you can talk, KJ. You want back Man United to win the year. What are you talking about, bro?
No, we're in a good spot. We should be winning it.
Yeah, we're in a good spot.
No, they're favourites now.
We're not favourites, are we? We've got Bayern Munich. You've got Man City.
Yeah, but
PSG. It's a bit different. We're playing a bigger competition than usual.
Calm down, everyone.
But you know that you're back, right? Just say it, bro. You know it.
We are halfback.
Oh, you're moving like Ram, bro. Man, like 2 back at 2.0, bro.
I want to say now 110%. I feel like you are. Interestingly, I was looking at this last night. I was up quite late, and I was sort of something. Igal posted something. Keeps like, do you know what made me laugh? Right, Igal loves posting videos of himself. He messages me all the time. Can you post this one? Can you post that one? I love it. I honestly love the geezer. And I'm looking at this chat coming from him at the minute about how good. Like, you know, like Arsenal's form recently has been so good, we should be looking at them as a different or a new team, right? So I haven't done all the teams yet, but I looked at United, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, last 14 games, okay? Chelsea played 13 in that, but I went with 14 games and then I realised Chelsea didn't play 13 under Tuchel, right? So Man United's last 14 games, 7 wins, no losses, 7 draws, 26 goals scored, 6 conceded, 10 clean sheets. Pretty good. Like you'd rocked the no losses is great. Should have won 3 or 4 more of them games, not bad, right? 10 clean sheets as well in 14 games, pretty good. Chelsea, 9 wins, 4 draws, 15 goals scored, 2 conceded, 11 clean sheets. The only blotch there would be the 15 goals scored. That would have, if you'd have scored more, with United, we conceded a couple less, we'd have won more. If you'd have scored a few more, you'd have won more, but pretty good. City in that time period, 14 games, 13 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 36 goals scored, but 9 conceded and only 7 clean sheets. So you say the only little smudge you would say is they've been a bit leaky, but amazing, right? So
who did they lose to again?
Man United.
Us.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah.
Remember that team?
That's an amazing record. Man United is pretty good. Chelsea's is excellent. City's is amazing, right?
Yeah.
Arsenal fans are like gassed at the minute, and we are going to get onto the Europa League later. This is their last 14 games, right? 6 wins, 5 losses, 3 draws, 21 goals scored, right? 16 goals conceded, and only 1 clean sheet. And I'm sort of looking at it and thinking, it's not rank horrible, like nasty, bitter, like morning breath taste. I was like, it ain't great.
Terry.
You know what it is?
You know what it is, right? They've won 1 more than they've lost, so it's good for them. That's what it is.
No, I was going to say, I know what it is. When they win, they're winning well. I think that's what it is. When they win well. Like they have good performances, they score goals, and it's very strong performances when they win. I feel like that's what it is. They have that feeling of, when we win, we play well. So it clearly must be that we're playing sick. But, bro, you lost. They still. I know you wanted the tie overall. They lost to Olympiacos at home.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
we can't just push over that. They weren't that good.
KJ, remember, according to a gal, they have 99 problems, but at least Spurs have 99 problems plus 1.
But Arteta ain't won.
They're doing quite well. This Arsenal and Spurs is just its own little, like, it's its own mini league of just dead. Like, no matter what these 2 teams seem to do, they always seem to be in and about each other, just to be average. It's like. It's not.
I find it all just. Again, I'm one of these people. Like, I think Arsenal have improved recently, and they deserve some credit for that. But it's just the way. Again, I didn't focus on the facts. I looked at kind of what fans were saying, and I was just looking at it last night, and I looked at the last 14 games only because I was basically looking at Man United since we last lost and our bounce from that, and how well or bad we've done. And then I thought I'll just check other people's, and I sort of looked at Chelsea's because I just thought. Everyone's raving about it at the minute. And Chelsea have got an amazing squad. They've got a world-class manager. And that form isn't too dissimilar to yours. What I was really impressed with us was the 10 clean sheets. That needs praise. We still need to have won more of those games. But then when I looked at Arsenal's, I was like, wow. It's just weird how I just feel like I've had the wall pulled over my eyes with them. Super chat here from Black Jesus, who says, to Chelsea, is to be feared. The judge said it himself. Chelsea are back. Pray for our rivals. Big up the god of football streaming channels, Terry. Big up, David. Let's go. Listen, bro, I wouldn't call myself the god, but thank you very much for being very, very kind. And thank you very much for the super chat. Get your super chat predictions in for who you think is going to be drawn against each other in the Champions League quarter-final stages. I want to ask David this question. What would your thoughts be if you got Liverpool this round?
Let's go smash them. It's that I think that we can beat them and again make them look like Atletico, especially if we get an away goal. Like, nah, I don't see them doing much to us. I really don't. I when it comes to Liverpool, I just do have this confidence because in Europe, all the players who have been struggling in the Premier League look better, obviously because they're more adjusted to it. So Ziyech looks half decent because he's been playing in the Champions League for 5-6 years now. So he knows the pace of it. However, when you put 2 English teams together, suddenly it's no longer a Champions League game. It's effectively a Premier League game because they're both in the same league and they're going to play each other the same way as they would do in a league. And I feel like that would suit us more than it would suit Liverpool.
Yeah, no, I get that. How about yourself, Jem? I mean, do you want to avoid the English teams, or is it a case of Liverpool are a little bit in the mud as it stands, as it appears right now. Would you like them? Would it be a good time, in your opinion, to play them?
I'm not scared of Liverpool. I would actually be very comfortable in playing Liverpool. We've made it. I think they find it hard to break us down, to be honest. I think we've got, especially with their injuries and that, I think we've got them a little bit sussed, and they love playing a high line, which allows people like Timo Werner to get around the back. So I think they play into our advantages in many ways, and I don't think Klopp would change his style of football to combat against Tuchel and Chelsea, and that's the reason why I think the reason why I feel more comfortable to play them than I would a Man City, for example, because I just think they'll just play only one style of football. But to me, I think we're actually going to get. My gut feeling is that I think we're going to get PSG. This is the time when we always get PSG, but we'll have to see, mate.
Yeah, it's an interesting Liverpool to me. I look at Chelsea as dark horses, and I say that because you're not conceding goals. Liverpool, there's still something missing. Even in some wins they've had recently, they've not been. There's something not. It's almost like like if you watch boxing, there's some boxers that don't have knockout power. So you feel that nobody minds fighting them because they think, well, you're not going to knock me out, so I've got a good chance of beating you. Liverpool just don't seem to have any knockout power right now in the way they're operating, where I think Chelsea are hard to break down, so it's going to be difficult for anybody to score against you. Bayern Munich, amazing attack. At the elite level, a pretty average defense this year. That's according to Bayern Munich fans I've listened to and sort of spoken to on this show. City, great defense, great attack. So they've just got both things there. PSG, great. I think a very good defense, very good attack. But there's still that mentality thing. Can they get over the line in these big competitions? Liverpool, though, average defense at the minute. Trent Alexander-Arnold dropped from the England squad. People getting onto him about that, Gareth Southgate. But all I've seen is Trent get ripped apart for like 3 months for how bad he's been. He gets dropped from the England squad. And suddenly it's
rightly so.
Yeah.
Rightly deserves
Liverpool, just for me, I don't know. Depends who they get in this round. If they get one of the big boys, I think Liverpool are done and out, and then it's a season over for them. But Liverpool fans may want to come on and have their say. We're going to open up the lines pretty soon. I
think the stream has started on. No, it hasn't started yet.
Not yet.
For,
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock.
No. The BT stream on YouTube. They're doing it for they're starting now apparently.
Yeah, starting very soon. Again, what I say this, it's okay watching it on BT, but you don't get any interaction there. No one at BT's talking to you. Do you know what I mean? So, get yourselves here stay on the Football Terrace. We'll bring it live to you. We'll let you know what's going on. You get to come on and have your say. You know what I mean? And we're pretty much one of the only relevant channels that are actually covering this today, because most of the big YouTube channels are not in the Champions League. So, yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
Big Europa League draws. Dinamo Zagreb.
I want to touch on Spurs. We have to touch on
Yes.
We do. I mean, obviously we're covering both draws today. I have to. I didn't want to make this kind of hyperbole comment last night, but I have to. For me, the most embarrassing European result I've witnessed, I can think of in my lifetime, at least in my adult life. I can't think of a time where a big Premier League team was leading by 2-0 from the first leg against a minnow.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know about you. What are you saying, KJ? How big of an embarrassment is this?
What have I told you about this brother, bro? You know what I'm saying? I've been telling people for time about Jose Bin Laden, fam. It's all imploded, bro. It's all imploded. Man said he's going to make Harry Kane explode. He has, bro. The entire club has gone with him too, bro. You know what I'm saying? It is beautiful. It's beautiful. You know what, yeah? It's embarrassing, bro. Like, it's embarrassing. You know why? They let a FIFA player, a FIFA legend, go and destroy them, bro. He went to their gaff and he said, not today. You know what I'm saying? The first goal, absolute rocket, bro. Absolute rocket. The second goal, about to say, I heard noise. The second goal, just great team play. They finished out superbly. The third goal, Man from the halfway
That was
line
unreal.
through four
Messi.
man and finished it. All right, now listen, you man. All right, Spurs. Listen. Get rid of this brother. Get rid of this brother. It makes no sense him being here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't makes no sense. It don't make no damn sense. You got the Carabao Cup final. If you don't win that, get him gone. Because there's no need for him here.
Yeah.
There's no need.
You know what's crazy about it? I was listening to Alex and everyone talking last night, and they were sort of like, oh, well, like, it's going to be too expensive. We can't do it. And I'm sort of sitting there thinking to myself, you're all mad. It's going to be far more expensive to keep him and keep failing at Tottenham than it is to change him and move on to somebody else. I don't even care how much money, I don't even care how much money you think it's going to cost you. You have to get it done. You have to get rid of him because you can't move forward with him.
Terry, can I just say something to that, mate? Because I heard you saying about that yesterday. It's getting to the point. It's getting stupid, right? We keep with Spurs. They've always forever blamed managers, but this has been going on for a very long time. 30 years. You bring in a manager and he brings the best out of certain individuals in the team. That's cool. But let's be serious. The level of their players are just not good enough. They've got too much deadwood players in that squad. So whoever comes in is not going to get 10 out of 10s out of all of them across the pitch for me because some of them are just dead.
And the thing is, yesterday they did create more than enough chances to score one goal. More than enough chances to score one goal. That's all they had to do. Get one goal, and they've got to score 4 to beat you. And they're not going to. They could only score 3.
Yeah.
So to score 1 is not a hard objective.
Their goalkeeper was on a mad one.
The goalkeeper was on a mad one.
And the defense.
But come on, to score 1 goal against Zagreb. Come on.
That's
embarrassing.
That's mad. Listen, you're absolutely right in saying that. My point about Tottenham is this. I understand that Jose isn't the one that has made them choke in big moments. They've been doing Spursy things for a long time. However, they have a squad that I don't think is conducive to play Jose's way. Last night, Alex made a point. Oh, we bought do people realize how touted Jedson Fernandez was? How touted Bergwijn was? But they're not Jose type players. They need a progressive manager. They need someone that's going to try and play football. So they're buying players that would suit Poch's and Nagelsmann's of this world. Eddie Howe would get this team playing better. The point I'm making is this. If you're going to stay Spursy and keep losing games the Spursy way, you might as well play nice football, right? There's going out and being Spursy, but playing dead, boring football, it's annoying. That's why I said about Man United, changing the manager, I kind of want, but at the same time, I still feel like we're not going to reach the promised land of winning league titles. So I don't really care. I don't just want to not win league titles and have pretty football. That isn't a happy medium for me. I want both, right? So I'll be annoyed either way. With Tottenham, I think they've just got to realise they are where they are. The only way they're going to get over the next hump is by changing board, by getting bigger and better people in relation to that. That's my view on that anyway. Igal's here with us. Arsenal in the Europa League draw today. Champions League draw coming up first, mate. When you look at the English teams going into this Champions League draw, do you think they should just embrace the big teams, or do you think they should be doing what David's saying? It's trying to avoid the big teams at all costs. Where's your head at?
Of course, you want to avoid the big teams at all costs, but this year teams like Real Madrid have not been playing so well. So even if you get them, you can see yourself going through. So you always want to avoid the Bayern Munichs of the world, the PSGs. You want to always avoid those guys. But at the end of the day, none of these teams have really looked that strong. Besides, I would say 2 or 3 teams.
Yeah, I get that. And who do you make the favourites after we've all watched the last round of the competition? Who stands out to you as being the favourites at this point?
I wouldn't be shocked if we had the same final again. If somehow it worked out that we had PSG, Bayern Munich again in the final, because I feel like those 2 teams are the strongest teams in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. Not Man City. You don't think it's Man City's year to finally actually go and do something?
Same thing that we just spoke about Spurs, but in European version for Man City. Man City have a good team, they have a good coach, they have a good squad, everything, but they've never been there before, they've never done it, and their fans don't push them to do those things and achieve those goals. So because of the history and everything around it, in addition to they just have never gotten over that hump as a club, and Pep Guardiola has this thing where he hasn't won a European trophy since Barcelona. I just don't think they're going to be able to do it.
Do you think when it comes to Manchester City, do you think that it's a fair they're looking like another record. They're already having a record-breaking season that could lead to a title. We already see that as it stands right now. Do you feel like do you think it's going to be if they don't win the Champions League this year? Do you think it will be fair to criticize their season even if they do another domestic treble?
No, I don't think if you want to say fair, like it would. I don't think it would fair to, because at the end of the day, the Champions League is hard to win no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're in the Europa League and they're the best team in England and they're destroying it, and they get the fail to win Europa League. That would be a criticism. But the Champions League is tough. It depends who they go out to. Look, if they went out to a Porto, then yeah, you can have a little bit of a thing. But if they go out to a Bayern Munich, to even to one of the English teams, you can't really say much, you know what I'm saying? So if they go and win a domestic treble, again, we can't chat to them, no matter if they win the Champions League or not. You know what I mean? It's just for us to be like, at least they didn't do the quadruple. That's all it would be.
I mean,
so who's the favorites right now? Is it Bayern Munich are the odds-on favorites, right? Then it's PSG.
Yeah, I think. I mean, those are the three big favorites. I think that's fair. I in my view, I'd make Bayern Munich and Chelsea neck and neck. I think PSG slightly behind them in terms of favourites, and
Bayern Munich and Chelsea.
No, Bayern Munich and City. Sorry, neck and neck.
Good. I was about to say,
we ain't back.
Slip of the tongue. Then I would have PSG, and then just behind PSG, I would say Chelsea. This is a great super chat from the Podfather talking about the old 3 foreigner rule in the Champions League. That really did hinder Man United in the early mid-90s in the Champions League. There were weeks where we had to rest we couldn't play some of our star players because you could only have 3 foreign players in your starting team. And I remember watching as a kid, not really understanding why some weeks it was like certain players why is he not playing? You're not allowed to have him. It was so annoying. Especially when like Roy Keane counted as a foreigner.
This is the Welsh and Scots were also considered foreign as well.
Yeah, it was very difficult then. Plus, as well, like the English, I always feel sorry as well for some of the really good champions. I don't remember the actual dates that the English teams were banned from Europe, but like there were some really good domestic teams we had at that point, and they couldn't even play in European football because of what all the hooligans have been doing for years in Europe. I always feel sorry. Like, imagine you get a team like I think Everton, during Arsenal. And Arsenal, were absolutely sensational, but they never had the opportunity to actually play in Europe. So look, Man United have got their own like personal disasters in Europe with obviously what happened in 1958. You know, it's just sometimes frustrating when you think could have had and should have had more of these Champions League titles if the world had been a fairer and better place. And no one get twisted about the Munich air disaster. You know, tragedy, accidental. The only reason that Man United took that flight in that horrible weather is because they were basically told if they didn't get back from a European game to play on the Saturday. And remember, travel was very different back then. It wasn't just one big private plane. It was like 3 planes or something, two or three planes from Belgrade that to get. They'd have to forfeit that game, and it could have cost them the league. They were forced back by the FA. And back then, remember, none of us would be playing in the Champions League if it wasn't for Sir Matt Busby and Manchester United. The majority of the English teams and the FA at the time didn't want English clubs because they were some of the best in the world at that point. They said, we don't want you sharing the English game with the rest of the world to show them how we do it. It was something that everybody scorned Man United for doing. And it was one of the reasons why the FA forced us into flying back. We should have been told, do you know what, we'll postpone your game. It's too dangerous. You shouldn't be flying in this weather. So everyone should learn the history of that. Like, not only did we lose a team and we lost out on maybe winning these titles and our team got set back by a decade, we set the trend of English clubs playing in Europe. Without the Busby Babes, without Sir Matt Busby pushing for it, Liverpool's history, Chelsea's trophy, none of it would exist in this competition without that. So
it's almost as if Brexit started years before then it actually happened, didn't it?
Look, these things go on, man. Like, people don't realize, to do some research on Sir Matt, what Sir Matt brought to the game. You know, all the clubs that have their boxes now. So that was Sir Matt Busby's idea. Say his idea. He saw it in America and he's like, we need to do it in this country. So he took the idea from the States and brought it over to here as well. Champions League draw coming up very, very soon indeed.
It says they start at 11. Yeah. Do they mean the coverage starts at 11 and they're doing the whole ceremonial thing where it takes like half an hour?
It's got to be done by 12 because that's when the Europa League one starts. So it's going to be done in the next hour or so, people. So just stay with the Football Terrace.
It happens like that.
Yeah, make sure you're smashing that like button, please. Just so everyone's aware, they are doing the quarterfinal and semi-final draws together. So it's both
that's
draws.
great.
So we're going to everybody gets. It's going to be amazing. But let's get the stream past 1,000 likes, ladies and gentlemen. Smash that like button. Hit that share button as well.
Question, Terry. Who's your dark horse? If we take out Man City, Bayern Munich, PSG, who's your dark horse from the remaining teams?
Chelsea.
Interesting.
Chelsea for me, and because Chelsea, they don't concede goals at the moment. Their defense, and it isn't they're not conceding goals because they play bang average teams or whatever, or the goalie. It's not even that the goalie has been pulling off a madness. Speaking of Chelsea, the Queen is here, everybody. All be uprising for the Queen of the Football Terrace. How's it going, Neats? You all right? Oh.
Terry, you didn't introduce her correctly. She has her own intro now. That is why.
We'll do the intro. Yeah, so I make Chelsea 110% Chelsea for me are the dark horses because they're not conceding goals. And at some point, the attacking line will click. Anit is in the house. What you saying?
I'm sorry, I just woke up. My breath still stinks. Like,
nice to know. Go and brush your teeth.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I am so freaking tired. You know what happened? Like yesterday, when Tottenham went out, me and my dad were drinking, and
I can tell.
Do you know what it is? I can smell the alcohol from here. I can smell it.
It's nasty. It's
nasty. KJ messaged me this morning. My phone went off, and I had a really late night. I was prepping some stuff for the weekend for the shows and everything. And I kind of got up, and I was like, it's fine. It was like 2 minutes to 10. I was like, I've got to go live. So I literally had to jump in the shower, have a cup of tea, push the kids out the way, move. I was like parting the Red Sea like Moses for all their toys to get to my office. I was like, I'm late. How do you feel about this draw, Neats? I mean, we spoke about City and Bayern being favourites, Chelsea being dark horses. Who do you want? Who do you want to avoid? And who do you see as being the outright favourites for this year?
I want anyone apart from Bayern Munich and Barcelona. Like I said, I think
Barcelona.
Sorry, Man City. I saw Pep.
Man City.
Guys. You know, like come on. I want anyone apart from Bayern Munich and Man City because I just feel like Pep is the one guy who can, and when it comes to tactics, like he can come head to head with Tuchel in it, and Bayern Munich because it's Bayern Munich. No one wants to go up against Bayern Munich in it. What would be ideal is for there to be Bayern Munich versus Man City now. Take one of them out the race, get that now, and I want Chelsea to get. I think we can beat anyone else. I honestly think we can beat anyone else. I wouldn't mind.
You see me, Chelsea are dark horse as well, but I think people are sleeping on Real Madrid. I feel like when it comes to this competition, I'm not saying they're good. I'm not saying they're a great team. But I think when it comes to this competition, I know they're the what we start, but I feel like they take this seriously. You know what I mean? This is like their competition, isn't it? So
they've been playing some average teams and just scraping it.
Yeah, I know, but they're coming back in the league. They're making a comeback in the league. They're through again. This could be the momentum they need.
But again, look at their league. Look at their league. Barcelona. Look how awful. Look how we all know Barcelona is awful, right?
You can say the same thing about the Premier League. Stop it.
No, it isn't.
You can. Yeah, you can. You can say the same thing about Premier League last year. Come on, stop it.
This season in the Champions and Europa League, a Spanish team has not scored against an English team. Don't chat about it.
I'm
okay?
so sorry. Why?
Don't chat. It's not a fact.
They're on that team.
Now, this ain't your draw. Why is a gal even here? This ain't your draw.
Anita, I'm part of the terrorist family. So I don't know why you're coming at me. I don't know why you're coming at me. I feel like she has a big sister thing for David. She's coming to David's effect. It's okay, Anita.
She may be my big sister, but the little brother will still beat you in an argument anyway. So
no. If you're just talking,
I love the football. I love my terrace. I've got this
is what you need. This is what you need, bro. You talk a lot of shit.
Oh,
Wait.
Arguing with each other.
Yo, Igal, why is it so close? Why is the toilet roll so close to you, my brother? It's because you also talk.
I was cleaning
Is that
the
what it is?
table. I was cleaning the table, and there was no
Toilet roll.
actual like wet towels.
Toilet roll.
anywhere.
Toilet
It was
roll.
toilet
I've
paper.
got nothing to say. I don't need to say nothing. I don't need to say anything.
You're such a man, Gal, you're such a man. That's a manly thing to do. There's no kitchen towel. I just use toilet paper. It's not the same, but that's what men do. It's like, it's all right. I don't, because it's going to leave. Did it leave like
What's the closest?
fragments behind? Do you know what I mean? We've got a super chat here that says, can I ask Terry if I can't say to Chelsea like that properly, to Chelsea somehow manages to get to the final, can we say he's world class like Pep and Klopp, considering he's in the middle of the season? Well, did he win back-to-back league titles with PSG?
Yes.
And
If he wins back-to-back league titles and a Champions League, he goes in. For me, he goes into the great manager category. I mean, quite literally, because you have to win back-to-back league titles and a Champions League to go into it. So to go into the great category, he's got to win it. Now, within great, there's still tiers. To go near a Klopp and a Pep, well, Klopp's easier to catch for Tuchel than Pep because Pep's won so much more. But it'll have equaled Klopp's Champions League record straight away, and who knows what he can do. But what start to his Chelsea career? Imagine you could get to a final and win it under Tuchel. I mean, I love Rory Jennings, but like the him and the Lampard in the mud, they'll be in the mud.
Sorry, my brother. Let it go, bro. Let it go. Lampard was not the guy. He wasn't the one. You've got Tuchel now, the breast surgeon. Yo, just go to his clinic, bro. Go to his clinic. Let him operate on your chest and go forward with it, bro.
All I'm saying, if we win this Champions League, I want an apology from everyone. Because I said
you just sound like Prime when you talk.
No, because I said when
talking about
when
Prime,
Lampard was going,
there he is.
Because when Lampard left, everyone was like, "Oh, let's get in Rafa Benitez and wait to the end of the season." Rafa Benitez? Are you? I was like, this guy is serious, and everyone's like, yeah, but he only did it at PSG. And blah, 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 blah. Everyone's trying to find every excuse in the book. He's just a good manager, great manager. That's what he is. So far, so good. Jem, stop.
One prime.
David, in all honesty, I was the only one who said Rafa Benitez, and that was due to the fact of I didn't think Tuchel would actually come mid-season.
Is that Prime not guessing something right? What?
No,
is that Prime?
David, do you know what I think is interesting is that even Chelsea, I mean, Tuchel first of all turned Chelsea down coming mid-season. So that's why I think people move towards, well, if we can't get him now, let's bring in an interim, because it was a lot of the press that know Tuchel were along the lines of he doesn't want to move mid-season. So it kind of made sense for people to look at an interim period. But then Chelsea obviously offered him some more money, and he's like, cool, sweet, I'm on. And that's why Chelsea are always going to be dominant, because they have the ability just to turn around and say, all right, you don't want to come mid-season, how about an extra £2 million a year or whatever? Like, do you know what I mean? Nothing like a bit of money to pull people along. We can't consider Tuchel as great as Di Matteo did the same. No, we can though, Monsor, because Tuchel has already achieved things in his managerial career prior. So if this was his first appointment and he come and won the Champions League, you could argue, okay, maybe a bit of beginner's luck. But if he's already done brilliant things at Dortmund in terms of keeping them relevant. I swear he won a domestic cup there. I think he won a domestic cup.
Yeah, he won a pack out, yeah.
Their version of the FA Cup. He then goes to Paris Saint-Germain and wins everything domestically and gets to a Champions League final. And then if he comes to Chelsea and wins a Champions League straight away, you can't put that's well and above the Matteo level. Like Tuchel's already an elite level manager. If he wins the Champions League, he goes into a new dawn. He already goes in front. And I'm sorry to say this, if he wins the Champions League with what else he's already achieved, he goes in front of Arsene Wenger straight away in front of Arsene Wenger, 110%. You can't. No, Champions League elevates you to next levels as long as you've got the league pedigree behind you. And Tuchel has that. And Tuchel's young. Tuchel is gonna. I'm so annoyed he's at Chelsea.
Yeah, bro. Oh, listen. When he signed him up, I was like, for flip's sake, them man are knowing what they're doing. They're back. They are, bro. And people, Jem, stop with your cowardice, bro. You're back because Sugar Daddy Roman is in the mood, and when he is, He plucks the best managers. He gives you the money that you need, and he's like, right, let's go win a Premier League. You know what? Let's go win it again. You know what I mean? Like literally, this is not good.
Not there yet, KJ. Not yet.
What do you mean the sun's not there? You just spent 250
not
million in the summer. You
Yeah.
brought in a
Look at that,
world-class manager, and now you're going again and trying to sign Haaland. Don't tell me there are no signs.
Trying.
Yeah,
There
but
are freaking
guys,
signs.
KJ,
when was the last Champions League shock? Be real. When was the last Champions League shock?
Chelsea.
Liverpool
Wait,
won
how-
it.
wait, how
Liverpool won it a
about
couple years.
Chelsea?
No. Hear me out. Liverpool won it. Real Madrid won it a couple years in a row, and then you also have what happened last year. Bayern Munich won it. So you're telling me Chelsea are going to win the Champions League over Man City, Bayern Munich, and PSG? I don't think so.
No, that's
You
not
guys-
what we're
you guys-
saying.
you guys-
No one's
That-
saying
no
Let
one
me
said
talk-
that.
No
let
one
me-
said that.
let me finish, guys. There's three
No,
Chelsea
but
fans
no,
that
but
are
you're
all giving
capping.
you a
No, you're
chance
just
to
no,
speak.
but you're just spouting
No,
nonsense.
David,
No one said that.
David, I only have to shout because you're trying to talk over me, and I'm not going to let you talk over me. Stop. Okay. My point is, there's three Chelsea fans here. Of course, you guys are going to talk about your club. You're going to gas up your club, gas it up all you want. But at the end of the day, there's still three major clubs in your way that you guys need to beat. If some of them knock themselves out, yes, that might help you. But at the end of the day, you're at best fourth or fifth odds to win this Champions
said
League.
they're gonna win it.
Can I
Let's
respond?
talk about it as if it's a sure thing. That's all I'm saying.
Can I respond? You're
go
talking
on.
about Champions League shocks. When Real Madrid retained the Champions League, was that not a shock? Because it's never been done before.
No,
And they were
because they won it the year
also
before.
bagging
How is that a
the-
shock?
also
Yeah,
bagging the-
because
There is a shock.
due to the fact
They
of
were
that has
also
never
bagging the
been
league.
done. Egal, I know you don't understand really
When
the
I
Champions
say
League.
shock,
The club's
I
never
mean
won it. It's
It was a shock.
no. Egal, don't talk. Egal, don't talk over me.
Okay,
It's
one-
never been
go
done
ahead.
before, so it is a Champions League shock.
Okay, so I get that, Prime. So when you say shocky, Gal, what do you mean by shock? I mean an underdog winning it.
Yeah, I mean, like someone you predicted that has no odds of winning it.
But the thing is, Chelsea do have odds of winning it. They're not sort of 100 to 1.
They're not Porto.
They're not. Yeah, they're
No.
not Porto's level. No. So my point is, can you? Let's just go. Let's just do
Okay.
something instead of us debating, because that is long, right? I'm gonna get. I can't find my bloody tab here. Sorry, because I've got my microphone standing in the way. Champions League winners. I'm just gonna go through the last however many years of Champions League winners.
Yeah, go 10.
Just do the last 10 years, right? So in the last 10 years, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Madrid, Barca, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Barca, Inter. Could argue Inter at the start of the season were outsiders. Barca, United, AC Milan. Like Porto were the last team that started the season and nobody gave a cat's head in chance. If you go over the last 25 years, every single, like even when Marseille and Ajax were winning it in the early 90s, bruv, they were top teams back then. So
That's my point.
But Chelsea are a top team. Chelsea won the Champions League. No one's looking at it going, have Chelsea done it? They're average.
No, look at name the teams again. Okay, Real Madrid. Every single year they won it. At the beginning of the year, you could have predicted they were going to win it. At the beginning of the year, nobody here was going to say Chelsea was going to win the Champions League. So when you guys are talking now,
Under Lampard.
I'm about to drop the biggest bombshell on you ever, bro. Because you spoke about how we should be judging Arsenal through how they've turned their season around and not by how they started the campaign. Chelsea under Thomas Tuchel are one of the highest performing, highest win-yielding teams in Europe. Chelsea under Tuchel are a different animal to Chelsea under Frank Lampard. Chelsea had one of the most valuable squads I think in the top 5 most valuable squads in world football. So when you've got one of the most valuable squads, when you've got an elite level world-class manager who has turned your form around to where you're almost unbeatable, they are basically Pill FC. You can't impregnate them. You can't break the barrier. They're done, right? They don't concede anything. So based on your own logic of we should judge Arsenal since Christmas until now because you've improved, for you to not look at Chelsea and act like Chelsea have got zero chance of winning, and if they did, it would be as big a shock as Porto winning it in 2004. I just think it's just
that's not what I said. That's not what I said. What I said was, are they favorites? No, they're not.
No,
are they
no, but no one here.
Everybody here, please.
Liverpool
Quick and concise.
Liverpool weren't favourites. No, but you don't need to be.
Quick and concise.
You made your point. Gal, wait. Liverpool weren't favourites when they won it at the start of the season in 2019. Real Madrid won it 3 years back to back. They weren't even. They were favourites.
They were in the final the year before, Terry. So yes, they are.
Let me make my point, Gal. they were favourites, but they weren't even winning their domestic competitions, right? So if they hadn't have won it and Barca would have done it, it wouldn't have been a shock, right? Bayern Munich, when they won it in 2013, didn't start the season as favourites. Chelsea, when they won it in 2012, weren't favourites at the start of the season. When Inter Milan won it, they weren't favourites. When Man United won it in 2008, we weren't favourites. When Milan won it in 2007, they weren't favourites. That happens lots, but but those teams that won it are not average. But the draw started. The first team's coming out now. We'll get back to this later. The draw's going out now. First team out is going to be...
What's everyone shush?
Manchester City. Ooh.
If we are ahead of Don Terry, we need to let him say it. Let him say it. Everyone's
next one out here. It's going to end up being Porto, isn't it? It's going to end up being Porto. Name's going to be out here. Who have they got in the semi-final? It's going to be rigged. It's going to be Porto. We know it is. Borussia Dortmund. That's a tough Haaland.
Listen. They're going to be literally talking to Haaland during the games, fam. That's what that is a rig. They rigged it so they can talk to him, bro.
That's to do the chat. Next team out. It's going to be for the other. It's FC Porto.
Terry, what are you watching this on, by the way?
The internet.
You're watching on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I was about to say, don't use the app. The app is behind. They're well behind.
Okay, no, I'm on YouTube watching this. Here we go. Here, who's going to come out? Is it going to be Liverpool? Is it going to be Chelsea?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh, they're through. It got in the box.
Wait until.
What did I say? No, the thing is, they drew the thing out, and I saw a C, and I was like,
I saw the C.
Bayern Munich out. Go on, give him to Liverpool.
Come on, man.
Give him to Liverpool.
Give him a hiding.
I'm too gassed. My heart's gonna go, boys. I'm gonna die.
Come on, give it to Liverpool. Hello. Give it to Liverpool. Come on, be Liverpool. Oh, Paris Saint-Germain, the final.
Vengeance.
May I just say, why fight all these hard teams when they can fight each other? Why fight each other?
David,
Thank you.
Big up Lady Freya as well. Big up Lady Freya coming out next.
Give me my peas. now. Give them to me.
That's Real Madrid. That's Real Madrid. Liverpool. Then look at that.
Yeah.
What rounds we got? You say hello. Louder.
I'm telling you. Give me my.
Hey, Freya.
hello.
Can you say a gal's in the mud? Say a gal's in the mud.
I'm tired.
You're tired?
No.
Did you get up too early, isn't it, Princess? Do you love me? Do you love me?
No.
Do you love me?
Listen to the draw.
Do you love me?
No.
Oh, I love you. All right, you go. Close that door behind you. Be careful of the wires. See you later.
Little girl said no, you know.
It's what it is. Such a wind up. It's unbelievable. Like I went up to the other day. You guys got Porto. Semi-final draw coming up now.
Semi-final draw.
This is the thing. This is what happens. This is what happens in the Champions League. You get that draw. You should be in the semis now. That's
Hopefully.
the
The one thing that worries me about Porto is that we might underestimate them. That's the only thing that I worry. But Tuchel in his mind will be like, we need to shut this tie off as fast as we can.
Don't worry, you got Tuchel's fantastic blues.
This is what can happen now, right? This is what you know about favourites here, Gal. This is what can happen. It isn't inconceivable, right? We've got semi-final draw, then we'll delve into this. Oh, wow. Make sure you're smashing the like button, people. Subscribe to the Terrace as well. First name out the hat.
Ooh.
Oh, it's going to be the winners of the third one. I don't know what that means.
PSG and Bayern.
PSG and Bayern. Okay.
Give them Chelsea. Give them Chelsea.
Okay.
You're going to miss it. It's not. Number two. Oh, it's building up. Semi-final. Number one, you've avoided Bayern. See, Chelsea have avoided Bayern and PSG.
They can get to the final. They can get to a final.
It's going to be City or Dortmund for Chelsea. That That's a route to the final there.
No. It's going to be Liverpool or Real Madrid.
It's Liverpool or Real Madrid for us.
Sorry, Liverpool or Real Madrid.
That's the route to the final. Sorry, I got it wrong. I'm too excited. Wow.
You guys can do it. You can do it.
Again, give me my peas now. Give me my peas now. No, give them to me.
No, David, give me my peas because my judge made this work. Give me
no, Prime.
Just with the judge. Let's talk football. Let's talk football for a minute here. And Anita, now you see that draw. How confident are you now of getting to a final?
We're gonna win. Huh? What do you mean? We're gonna win. Like this is literally the best route we could have got. Liverpool, is it what? Liverpool or Real Madrid that we're gonna meet?
Real Madrid. Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Real Madrid. You know what's amazing about that? When you look at Chelsea's draw, and you're just blunt about it. It's just like you've got Porto, you're superior. Real Madrid and Liverpool,
you can beat
because they're not on point. Like Chelsea, it's so doable now to get yourselves through to that final. And as we said about the draws of this game, we were saying to Igal earlier, you're literally going to have so many of the hard, like the other three favourites that we mentioned, are all on the other side of the draw. So they're all going to knock each other out. And Chelsea, if they get to the final, whoever will be up against either City, PSG, or Bayern Munich. And that's the way it is.
Two of those three teams are going to be out by the final.
Let me just say this as well to Monso. I'm not disrespecting Liverpool. Liverpool and Real Madrid, if Chelsea get there, are going to be difficult games. But they're not as difficult as PSG, City, and Bayern Munich this season. That's the point. It's the easier side of the draw. It reminds me of England. England in the World Cup. What helped us get to that semi-final was the fact that we were on the easier side of the draw. So for me, that's absolutely massive. How happy are you with the draw, David?
I predict these things. In the words of Conor McGregor, I'm so gassed. Give me Porto because I don't want to face them, the three other favourites. And look what happened. They're all playing each other. I don't have to see them till the final. And when it comes to one game, anything can happen. I've seen Wigan beat Man City in an FA Cup final. I've seen us beat Bayern Munich when they had 80% possession. We are.
We're going to do it.
I want to
It's doable.
I want to ask a question here about Manchester City because obviously they've got a difficult tie against Dortmund with Haaland and Haaland, Sancho, their man there. Big up, Mel. Then if they get through that, it's Bayern Munich or PSG. How do you see City now getting to a final? With their lack of pedigree in this tournament, their lack of getting through to, do you think, what's your thoughts on that, Peeps?
You know what? Because it's a higher level of opposition they're playing. It's not the Lyons. It's not the Spurs. It's not the Liverpool. Liverpool was different back then, actually, so I exclude them. But whoever they've gone out to, it's not them. I feel like they'll raise their levels accordingly. So I think Pep, what he does with these smaller teams when he's trying to get through, he tries to overcomplicate it, do some weird next tactics. I think now he'll stick to his game plan, stick to what he knows what's good. And you can't tell me that Man City can't beat Bayern Munich. You can't tell me they can't beat PSG. So if Pep just focuses, sticks to what he knows, they still have a good chance of getting through. They just need to like.
This is one of the. You know what's scary about their draw though with City? When I think about Chelsea, the year that you won the Champions League. If I think about Man United's '99 run and even our 2008 run, we had to beat some ridiculously good teams to get to that final, and those kind of moments almost elevate your winning to next levels. If City do get through their side of the draw and they win it, along with all these domestic trophies that they're likely to win, it almost cements them, in my view, as being one of, if not the greatest team in like they go on to do the quadruple after this draw. Nothing can be denied because you can't even throw that kind of. And I mean, domestically, we've always said about City, they get an easy ride, but to win the Champions League with who they're up against now, no one can call that easy. Nobody can call that simplistic, and they will deserve nothing but absolute praise for getting past those teams. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen here? Big ties for Poch as well, you know. because like Poch is going to be under the microscope here with PSG as well, Mbappe and all them man there as well. We're joined now by Daniel's on the line with us here as well. I'm going to get him on to have his say. What's your thoughts on the draw, bro?
You got to win. You got to win. You got to win. Look, I was on a stream yesterday, and I was basically breaking down to them that, look, at the end of the day, it's all about the odds. Do you know what I'm saying? The odds are what make the Champions League what the Champions League is. The best, like when you get to the last day, it's not about who the best team is anymore. It's about who you face and the opposition that you get. Look, I don't care if Porto beat Juventus. Like, we're not Juventus. We have to be going into that game confident enough that we're going to beat Porto, get to the semi-finals, and I think we play Real Madrid. And look, at the end of the day, I hear what Igal's saying in terms of, look, PSG, Bayern Munich, and what was the last team you mentioned? Man City. In my opinion, yeah, when I look at PSG, Bayern Munich, do you think that this is them at their peak? Do you think this is peak PSG? Do you think this is peak Bayern Munich? I spoke to a Liverpool fan who said he'd happily take Bayern Munich because they give you chances. And I believe the same thing. I don't think this is the peak version of any team. I know everyone's saying Man City, but we've seen in the past, getting over the hump is the hardest problem in football. Do you know what I'm saying? And when you get over the hump, winning your first of something, you're never your best version, in my opinion. When you look at Chelsea, when we won our Champions League in the 21st century, we weren't our best version. When you look at Liverpool, when they won their Champions League, they weren't their best version. Fair enough, Man United 21st century Champions League was against Chelsea, and it was kind of their best version. But look, you look at Liverpool, you look at Chelsea, look at these teams. We haven't won it at our best version, and I think the same goes for Man City. Look, we're saying Man City are this formidable team. I see them bottling it again. Like, that's their biggest problem. And who's to say Pep necessarily wins the Champions League for Man City when he couldn't do it for Bayern Munich? And he arguably had a better Bayern Munich team than this City team. So, look, it's all about the odds, like I said. And I think Chelsea need to be going into it with not arrogance, but a certain confidence. The same way we went into Atletico Madrid is the same way we need to go with Porto. And I think Tuchel will tell his team not to overestimate Porto, but we have to be winning that game. I don't even care, because I saw Porto play against City in the group, and I think we can beat them. So, yeah,
that's the road to the final as it looks. Graphic put up there by BT Sport, and when you sort of look at that, it's achievable. It really is.
Look at that side of look at Chelsea's side of the draw. That's a final. There is a final there for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter who comes up from those four teams, because if they go up against Bayern Munich, PSG, or Man City, they're all losing.
Whoa, Igal.
Whoa.
It doesn't matter. Listen. Here's my point. Let me say my point before. 1 second. Let me say my point, and then I'm done. My point is, I'm taking Bayern Munich, PSG, and Man City against the field. That's my point. I'm done.
No, but wait, can I go?
Wait.
Objective for just a little while. Like, if you look at it objectively, Chelsea are not conceding goals at the moment. Yeah, we're in our best form that we can be at the moment, right? And I know you look at PSG. Like, I look at PSG, I look at Bayern Munich, and I look at Man City as, oh, right, like they are the biggest teams in this competition right now. It's going to be difficult to beat them. Yeah. But Chelsea have a history of beating teams when they're at their best. Like, we've done it several times in the Champions League. We have a history of beating teams when they are at their best. And we've got almost a world-class manager who's taken us through. And he got to the final in the Champions League as well. So what makes you think that this same manager cannot take Chelsea to that said final? It doesn't make sense to me. And I know you're looking at Bayern Munich, you're looking at Barcelona, PSG, and you're looking at Man City. They're on the other side. Let's focus on our side. And you need to stop bringing this, either way you're going to get one of them, so either way you're going to lose, blah, blah, blah. Stop bringing that mentality when you play on Thursday nights. Because it just doesn't make any sense.
Anita, when you bring up the Europa League, it doesn't actually add to your argument. You mentioned it. No,
because that's where you should be focusing on instead of coming and talking about Chelsea.
I always come early, not late. That's why.
Gal, let me just.
Are you referring to me coming late?
Let me just say,
you've been late for the last 8 years, my G.
Gal, you are right in the sense of Chelsea aren't favourites. Right? So there are three teams that, with the bookmakers and with most fans, are more favoured to win it than Chelsea. It doesn't mean Chelsea can't win it. By your same logic, I suppose you've got no hope of Arsenal winning the Europa League then.
No, we're not talking about the Europa League right now, Terry.
No, we're literally in 5 minutes. We're moving on to that.
Once we move on to Europa League, we'll talk about it. Right now, we're talking about the Champions League, right?
So I'm giving you a heads up.
There's one,
by
two,
your
three,
logic, by your logic, you have no point you even focusing on Arsenal's draw.
No. Listen, I'm focused on my club. They're focused on their club. I'm telling them, I'm giving them legitimate reasons in why they shouldn't be so excited. You can be excited about your team. Hold on. No, why the hell am I here? Why the hell am I here? I'm here to tell you guys my opinion. No. David, Terry, why is David on the screen? Put me on the screen. No, shush. Shut your mouth.
No, I'm not getting shushed by you. You're on Thursday nights. No. Back down. Let me talk in it. Let me talk because I'm not having this. Right. Last season in the FA Cup final, who was a better team, Arsenal or Chelsea at the time? It was Chelsea. But who won the final? Arsenal. That's how it's a final. I have seen Wigan Athletic. Wigan, who were relegated with Bobby Martinez, beat Man City. I have seen Di Matteo, who was dead food.
No, listen.
Everybody, please. Let me speak. David, everybody here, please don't interject. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying Chelsea cannot get to a final. I'm not saying Chelsea cannot win the league. I'm not saying you guys can't win the Champions League. I'm saying I am taking Bayern Munich's odds. I'm taking Man City's odds, and I'm taking PSG's odds over the rest of you, over Chelsea's odds of winning the league. Don't get so personal.
Sorry, everyone. Igal, every single Chelsea fan on this show has said they're not the favourites. Every single Chelsea fan has said they're dark horses. But of course, if you get an easier route to the final, of course, Chelsea fans are going to be happy to be on their side of the draw compared to Manchester City's because it's easier. If today you draw Man United, you're going to be less happy than if you draw Zagreb. That's just normal. If in the next round of the FA Cup, Man United beat Leicester and we get through to the semi-finals next or quarter-final, I don't even know, right? Semi-finals. If we avoid Man City, I'll be happier than getting Man City. I don't really understand your logic, bro. Like, it's crazy. Who would I rather fight?
What I don't get is your logic. How there's 4 Chelsea fans on here, you don't challenge one of them for saying they have the odds of winning this Champions League?
No. I'll tell you why. We just listened to you and we've agreed. We said, no one on here has said we're odds-on favourite to win the Champions League. But my point to you, Igal, is that you can't come on here and tell us not to be excited that we're in the last.
No, be excited. I love it.
You legit said don't be. You legit said I don't know why you're excited.
You said don't know why you're excited. How can you tell us not to be excited when we're in the last eight in the Champions League and then we get Porto? It's not about the side of the draw.
Can I go?
It's not about semantics as such, Igal. It's about understanding football and knowing that any good team can win the champion. By the way, Liverpool can still win this Champions League.
Yeah,
Dortmund can win it. Things like this happen. It's hard, but it can happen. And
okay. So stop. When we talk about the Europa League, the whole time, all you guys are gonna say is Arsenal cannot win the Europa League. So let's not try to act like
if you get a favourable draw, we will say you've got a good draw, a good chance to win it. It's about the draw, my brother.
Yeah,
as soon as the paths are aligned, and say if your path is Slavia Prague and the next thing is Dynamo Zagreb, of course we're going to say Arsenal can win the Europa League. Of course we want to say that because your path is easier than the other teams.
Can I go?
I don't see why you're getting so salty and vexed that Chelsea fans.
I know why he's doing it. The reason he's like that is because he can see that Chelsea have got a clear route to the final, and he knows it is plausible that they could be in a final. So it's like, what I'd have done again, I'd have gone for the other route. If I'd have gone for the salt, I'd have gone for you don't get to the final now, it's bottling it because you're up against 2 giants that have fallen a little bit recently, and you've got an easy team. That's the way. If I was going to be salty, it would be, wow, look at your great draw. If you're not in the final, Tuchel's bottled it. That's
what I want to go with. Because, Igal, you're saying we can't win it. That's fine. So if we lose against Porto or, Liverpool, Real Madrid, or even if we lose in the final, by your logic, Chelsea have not bottled the Champions League.
Yeah,
No, you haven't bottled it because you guys don't expect it. You guys don't expect to win it.
No,
I'm
fine.
agreeing with you.
Don't twist your rhetoric and say we bottled it then, because I know what
I'm
you're
never going to say that. I'm never going to say that.
That is what you're going to do. That is what you're
I'm
going to do.
never going to say that.
Because you're going to say you had this favorable draw and everything. You're going to say that.
I'm never going to say that.
Okay, that's out there now. That's out there now. We're gonna move this forward because we're gonna move on to talking about the Europa League in a few short moments. Everybody that's tuning in, over 3,000 people live, hit that like button for us right now, please. Lots of new subscribers to the Football Terrace this morning. Make sure you go into the link in the description below. One, you get 20% discount off of all Manscaped products. They're still our title sponsors. Go and get that done. Also, the Football Terrace Discord server is the best football community in the world. The invitation link to sign up to our Discord is below. So go and get that done for us right about now, people. We're going to recycle some of the panel. Prime, thank you very much for coming on, mate. We've got some others backstage for the Arsenal thing that's coming up here. Thank you very much indeed, bro. Really appreciate that as well. We're going to throw Kesh into the mix, who's a gooner, because we're moving on to the Europa League conversations in just a second. I don't know why people rate PSG so highly. This year, they have lost 7 games in Ligue 1. They didn't look that good during the group stages either. It's true. Like, listen, it's true. I mean, but nobody wants to talk about it because, you know, it's interesting. The other day, I criticized PSG's sort of league form, and all I got met with is, why are you defending Oli? That was all I got met with. It's not really. It's just because Poch is the manager. It's a madness. But
no one's looking at Bayern Munich's league form either, because no one wants to talk about Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter.
Don't get me wrong. I know it doesn't matter. And Bayern Munich is the one team I don't want to face in the final. I'm praying that we don't face them. But at the end of the day, they are still a liability as well. So people need to stop thinking that Chelsea are the only team.
They're not.
Sorry,
they're not a liability.
Okay, thank you. Focus on Europa. Thanks.
They're not a liability. The Europa League hasn't started yet. It hasn't started yet.
Just shut up.
It hasn't started yet. You can't.
Just shut up. Fucking hell. All I'm saying is, in the Champions League, we cannot say that X, Y, and Z is going to win the Champions League. I'm not saying Chelsea is going to win the Champions League. It could be Man City. It could be Man City and Bayern Munich can meet in the semi-final. Man City can still knock out Bayern Munich. It doesn't matter who gets who at this moment. I personally don't think there's a clear-cut favourite. At the moment, I personally think that Man City can go on to win it, but I don't think anyone can push Chelsea out of the running at all.
You know what's interesting? We had a Bayern Munich fan phone up the other day and just said that he was talking City, said he really fears City, and he was talking about the reason he's worried about it. He said, he's worried about the Champions League. He said because defensively this season, in his eyes as a Bayern Munich fan, he thinks defensively they've been very, very leaky. So he's very concerned about how that's going to play out, how that's going to move forward. Has someone got WhatsApp open on the computer they're using on this?
Terry, all this, listen.
Yeah, go on, Kesh.
People just love to talk nonsense. Honestly, Bayern was leaky last season in Champions League. There was leaky in their defense towards the end of the season last year as well. It does not matter about league form. When you get to the quarter-final, even if you're the smallest of teams, that all goes out of place. Whoever wants it the most, whoever plays the best in the both legs, will progress. It doesn't matter if you've been having a terrible form. One thing I'll say about the Germans is they're very efficient when it comes to the latter stages. They've proven it for years. So I don't know where this notion's coming from. I genuinely don't get it.
I agree. Kesh, I agree with you.
Listen, of course, that's why Bayern Munich is still favourites. The point I'm making is they're not invincible. They have flaws within their team. Their own fans are talking about it. And also on any given day, we've seen this in the Champions League. They can be beaten. So my point is, we go back to what everybody said. Bayern are the favourites. City neck and neck or maybe slightly behind them. PSG third favourites. Chelsea maybe coming in fourth favourites, in my view at this point. So no one said Chelsea the outright favourites. But to say Chelsea can't win it,
that's what I'm saying.
Chelsea can win it.
That's all that's being said, though.
No, but Kesh, on top of that as well, it's like, look at what we were talking about before when we were breaking it down. I said the odds. Playing the odds and looking at how everything is set up. I have, like, if you're talking about facing Bayern Munich in a two-legged tie, that's fine. It's very, very hard to beat them over two legs because you have to rely on being able to score goals and being able to shut them out as well. But if you're talking about a one-off game, I remember the Champions League final last year. Everyone was all up in Hansi Flick's saying they were great. PSG should have won that final. Mbappe and Neymar had gilt-edged chances to kill off that final, and they didn't. And at the end of the day, no, of course. And at the end of the day, my point is, when we're talking about Chelsea, we can only play Bayern Munich now in the final. So why can't we have confidence in the fact in a one-off game we can't beat Bayern Munich, as if we didn't go to the Allianz and do it already? My point is, of course, Bayern Munich are this great team. They're the favourites. They're da-di-da-di-da. They're this, they're that. We already know what Bayern Munich are. The point is, we don't know what Chelsea are yet. And we've just seen how well we can play and how bad we can play. I think Chelsea at their peak, we just never know what could happen.
You know what we've done? We've spoken a lot about Chelsea and a lot about Man City. Not a lot about Liverpool. And we've got Ram with us as well. Ram's here. What about your Ram? What do you think about Liverpool's chances in the Champions League now that you also got the side that you would rather have in terms of you'd rather face Real Madrid than the Bayern Munich PSG, and you've got your next two opponents are technically could be Porto or Chelsea.
Yeah, like if I was gonna pick a side, it would be this side, and it's similar to what Chelsea fans said. Anyone can win it. Like we won the Champions League with Jimmy Traore at centre back. So anything can happen. In terms of the draw, I didn't for some reason I didn't want Porto. Because of the low block they play, I didn't want them. Real Madrid, they haven't been the same Real Madrid they have been for the last couple of seasons. They did struggle against a very, very decent Atalanta side. I think my main worry for against Real Madrid is the striker Karim Benzema. Benzema has been absolutely amazing for Real Madrid, and now he's getting the recognition that he deserves. And yeah, I think ideally I would have got them, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
So, are you confident though? I mean, there doesn't seem to. I suppose why there's not been a lot of conversation about Liverpool is because Liverpool fans are not really talking about winning it. There doesn't seem to be very much confidence in the Liverpool camp at all around pulling off a win here. What's your thoughts? I mean, Chelsea are on the good side of the draw, in my opinion. That gives them a route to an easier route to the final. Tough teams, but an easier route. Do you look at it the same way? Do you feel like you could sort of, play yourselves into a bit of form and get yourselves into a final here, Ram?
If you take emotion out of it and what's happened in the last couple of weeks and months, yeah, this is the easiest draw. Objectively, we have avoided the three best teams in the Champions League. But when you look at the form that we had for the last couple of months, and especially in the Champions League, people forget, even though we did play decently against Leipzig, we were so wasteful. And that is very much a concern, because even if we have one chance, I don't even know if we're going to take that chance. And that's something that you don't associate with Liverpool Football Club right now.
Well, the last 13, 14 months, we definitely have. It's going to be an interesting one here. What about, this is true from the Podfather, is the form in May, well, the form when these games come around is going to be really, really important. I just look at it as the draw for the slightly weak, all the favourites on one side of the draw, the three main favourites on one side and everybody else is on the other. It opens it up. It makes a great opportunity, and it's about people not fluffing their lines. There's great opportunities here for everybody. We're going to just start discussing the Europa League now. That draw starts.
The better competition. You know what I'm
saying? We're going to start discussing that now. The draw's in about 20 minutes' time. Everyone who's tuning in, please share this stream on your social media platforms. Share it in your WhatsApp groups, on Facebook, on Twitter. We want your predictions in as well. Your super chat predictions for this draw. Who are the English teams going to get? The winner will go into a prize draw to win a My Secret shirt and some free Manscaped products. We'll have some ball deodorant and ball wipes for you, whatever you want. Let's get this past 1,000 likes while we're live, though. Francis here says Chelsea can't win the Champions League this year, period. What makes you think we will defeat Madrid, who are veterans of the Champions League? Chelsea win. I'll donate $500 US dollars to the Football Terrace. Well, I've just become a Chelsea fan in the Champions League of the season. Let's do this, Chelsea. The blue lights are staying. I'm going to get a blue T-shirt. I'm going to wear. I actually wore a Man United shirt today. I'm in such a good mood. Does Haaland do a PVT stadium tour?
Private
parading tour. Does Sancho come back with a vendetta? Does Diaz close off Haaland? Too much
drama on show
on show for this. Yeah, listen, that City Bayern Munich game has so many subplots. It's absolutely beautiful. It hasn't really been spoken about too much. I'm sure we will in the build up to it. All the games are. The great thing is all the games are amazing. So they're all going to be highly anticipated. Loads of viewing figures. They're going to be amazing. Do you know what? I've got this little feeling about that game that Haaland and Sancho are going to do a madness. But listen, John Myrtle, Darren Fletcher, Jadon Sancho will be. I don't know what the laws will be by then, but hopefully he's going to be in Manchester in a few weeks' time. You know where you need to be. You know what you need to be doing. Get it done.
Imagine a Dortmund-Chelsea final. Imagine that.
Roman's probably going to play as well. Just to whisper in, Roman's probably going to play as well to whisper in Haaland's ear.
Well, Roman's going to, can you imagine? They're all going to be up there. Roman is going to sneak himself into the country in a laundry basket and do a madness. We're talking Europa League now, though. Europa League draw on the way. Of course, I'm going to put him on screen when I say it. Tottenham out of the tournament last night dramatically, leaving only Arsenal and Manchester United from an English and British point of view because thankfully, the number one scouser, Steven Gerrard, absolutely flopped out of the tournament last night terribly. We're not biased here. Sorry. I think the next outside of who's the favourites right now. I want to ask a neutral. I'm going to go Daniel on this. Who's the favourites to win the Europa League in your opinion, bro?
Manchester United have to win the Europa League. Simple as. There's no ifs, buts, maybes. There's no throwing yourself away from it. You look at the guys. There's no pressure on the rest of the teams. Arsenal have no pressure on them to win it. Villarreal, probably another team. Maybe Ajax if you want to throw them in there. But Manchester United are the biggest. They're the best club left. They're second in the league. They have to win the Europa League. And really and truly, when you look at it, in the Europa League, normally the best team wins. Normally, that doesn't always happen. Obviously, we've seen it in the past, but normally the best team wins. When Chelsea have been in the Champions League, Europa League, I believe we have like 100% record there. I expect the same with Man United, man. If you want to really put yourself back in good stead, back in the good books of a lot of Man United fans, you got to go out there and do the job. That's to the United players. I think you got the best players as well: Pogba, Bruno, Rashford. How many teams have got a better trio than that in their team? Luke Shaw in the form of his life. Look, I know everyone's got their doubts about Oli, but if he bottles this one, boy, serious inquest, man. But United have to win it.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on the Man United point. There is. I'm not bottling this as a fan. We are the favourites now. The second best team were knocked out last night by Manchester United. And very, very well.
And we knocked out the third favourites as well.
Yeah, in Rosa. So we've had a really tough draw in terms of Europa League level here. We have to look at it now and see ourselves as favourites. There isn't a team remaining in the competition that has the same strength in depth. No one has a Pogba that's left in this tournament. Nobody has a Bruno. Nobody has players of that ilk and of that level and of that standard. So we've got a great opportunity here. We're currently sitting on 10 clean sheets in our last 14 games. We need to start scoring a few more goals. We have to put ourselves into that category. What do you think, Nick?
Terry, this is absolutely hilarious. Sorry, because when a gal says, I'm putting my money on PSG, Bayern, or Man City, it's like, why ain't Chelsea got a chance? But in the next breath, Man United must win it if we don't bottle it. Like, where's the consistency, man? It's a champion. It's a knockout draw. Oh, it's not Champions League, Europa League. It's a knockout draw. We don't even know who we're drawing, first and foremost. If Arsenal end up on the side of the draw with, let's say, who's in there? Not Molda, Granada, Slavia Prague, and there's one other. Who's the other one? Zagreb. And we end up on the draw with Villarreal, Unai Emery, who's a perennial winner in the competition, Ajax, Roma. I'm not saying we're not the favourites, but to come out and say we can't bottle this. No, it's a knockout draw. As Kev said, who turns up over the 90 minutes of 180 minutes will win it. If Man United can bottle it by not winning it, then Igal was 100% right in what he said before. But obviously the energy is different. I get it, rival fans, blah, blah, blah. We should win it, but it's not a guarantee.
Neat. Of course it's not. But the point is, like, let's not get misconstrued what we were saying before. Let's not. a lot of Miguel's points that we as Chelsea fans were disproving was the fact that he was saying we shouldn't be excited, or there's no chance in hell. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but there's no chance in hell Chelsea.
No, don't paraphrase. I don't want to misconstrue. Don't paraphrase him.
You know
exactly what he was saying, isn't it?
Let's keep the same energy. Let's keep the same energy. We're talking about the Europa League draw. Like Miguel said, we're only talking about the Europa League draw. Stop going backwards. Should Man United
fair play.
Should Man United, in your opinion, win the Europa League?
Man United should win the Europa League.
And that's
to say no. Because
that's all that's being said here. Is
no, it's not.
What I'm saying is this: I'm not saying we've bottled it. Depends who and what and how comes up. But I'm saying we should be considered favourites for it. Does it mean that we are guaranteed to win it? No. What I felt Agal was saying earlier is I don't get why Chelsea fans are happy because you've got no chance of winning it anyway. One of these three teams are winning it. By his logic, there's no point in even watching the draw for Arsenal today and being excited about the draw because there are better teams than Arsenal in the tournament. So what's the point of even taking part?
Name them.
Better than Arsenal, Man United.
Name them.
Man United.
Name them. You said
Man United.
Roma. I'll take Villarreal.
I think you kind of
look at the squad value. No.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Why am I speaking?
It's all changed, man. It's all changed.
Hold on. Listen, Man United is the favourite, yeah?
Mhm.
But to say that Villarreal is a better team than Arsenal, they're not. To say Roma is a better team than Arsenal, they're not. They're not. The reason why I make Villarreal favourites over us is because Emre is a serial winner of this competition, which helps. That's the only reason.
Wait, hold on.
Say that these teams are better than Arsenal, they're not.
They are better than you.
Villarreal's better than us.
They're better than you. So therefore they are more likely to win the tournament than you.
Okay. Man.
By
Kesha don't even watch La Liga. Kesha don't watch it.
These men don't even watch Liverpool football like
Guys, everybody, I'm gonna have another Alex moment. I need everyone to stop shouting over each other, please, and just make your point. Listen, when you look at it, Man United are favourites over Arsenal. I don't think player for player Villarreal are better than you. But I agree with what you said, though, Kesh, around sort of the managerial side of things. Ajax can beat both Man United and Arsenal. So Ajax are there. They're a Champions League team. But I don't look at Arsenal as outright favourites. So to go back to what was being said earlier and not kind of trying to paraphrase here. If Arsenal get Dynamo Zagreb in the next round and their semi-final could be Granada or Slavia Prague, by Gal's logic, he can't be excited about that because he's avoided all the big teams because he's still not one of the favourites to win it, or not the favourites to win it. That's all the Chelsea fans were saying. Like on the other point, that Man United are favourites, and and from this point we should go on to win it because we are better. We wouldn't. How many players from all those other clubs would we even take at Man United? How many of their players would get into our team? We should be seen as the outright favourites, and we should accept that. Does it mean we're gonna win it? No. Who knows what happens? We might go into our semi-final against Ajax and have our 5 best players out injured, and it changes the standard. But I just think it's there. In terms of your thoughts on this, Gal, from Arsenal's point of view, do you favour yourselves? Do you see yourselves getting to a final? Can you win this tournament from this point?
I think the difference between the Champions League and this is Chelsea were the 5th or 4th best team left in the teams remaining. I feel like from the squads, if you look at the valuation of the squads, the players in the teams, I feel like we're the 2nd best team left. So we should be, after Manchester United, we should be the 2nd favorites. That's me putting pressure on my team. I get that. That's me saying it straight as it is. If we lose and we don't lose to Manchester United and we lose to anybody else, it's a disappointment, it's a letdown, and we did bottle it.
I'll give you.
Hang on, Igal. Go on, Katie.
No, my question is to you, Igal. Then, so if you get a favourable draw to the final, are you going to be excited, or are you going to be like, "Well, there's a team better than us, so I don't know why I should be excited"? Because you say you didn't say it, but you said it. You said, "Why are you excited?" That's what you said.
Are you done? Okay. The difference with I already answered this before I started. First thing I said, the difference between what I was talking about with Chelsea were the 4th or 5th best team remaining from the Champions League teams in the draw. Arsenal are the 2nd best team.
That's not what I'm asking.
In the fact that we are the favorites, if we don't win, we bought.
No. That's not what I'm asking you. Listen.
What's your question?
Would you be excited? That is my.
Of course, you're going to be excited about the draw, but at the end of the day, until you play the games, you don't know what's going to happen.
Of course,
and that's all I ask you, bro.
But that works in both directions.
No. But you guys are trying to get a got you moment. You're not getting a got you moment.
Clarifying your logic.
I can tell you now. I'm not trying to get you. I just didn't understand why you couldn't get why Chelsea fans are happy with their side of the draw. The same as in the World Cup. When England saw their draw in 2018 and we had no major teams to play to a semi-final, we were all buzzing. Of course you want to avoid Germany and Brazil and Argentina and all them. Of course you do. Who would you rather take? Germany in the next round or Sweden? Do you know what I mean? Like, of course you're happy with it. You've still got to beat that team. And it's embarrassing when you don't. The point for Chelsea is if Chelsea get knocked out by Porto, that's an embarrassment now. If Chelsea had Bayern Munich and lost, no one's going to say too much unless they get a 7-1 slapping or something. But I don't understand the logic, bruv. Your logic doesn't make sense because it undoes itself as soon as you speak about Arsenal. I think you went to throw salt, and I think you missed a little bit. Super Chat here says, I don't think you like Arsenal. Why do you bring two clowns to represent? Hang on, that's Arsenal.
Leave Cash alone. Leave Cash alone, bro.
And of course, you've got to leave a Gal's that guy. He's not a clown, loves his team and everything else. They've got their views.
Bro, you guys are all taking a piss today. Nobody's actually talking about football.
No, we're listening. No, we're listening to you.
Listen to what you said. No. Listen to what I'm saying here. I'm not saying Chelsea can't win the league. I'm not saying they can't win the Champions League. I'm not saying anything else. All I said was I'm taking those three teams over them. Now,
no one is. Shut up.
No. AJ, please let me finish. Let me finish, mate. I'm saying if you tell me 4 teams better than Arsenal in the Europa League, then your argument counts.
No one.
Take Arsenal. Take the Arsenal out of it, guys. Take Arsenal out of it. It's the last time we're talking about this now because it's actually winding me up. Take the Arsenal conversation out. Every Chelsea fan on the stream agreed that there are 3 teams more likely to win it than them. That doesn't mean they can't be happy with avoiding all those teams on their potential route to the final. That's all that was said.
No one's disputing your argument about the favourites.
That's all that was said. None of them said, yes, of course, Anita said flippantly, oh, we're going to win it. If you can't tell that that's a bit of sarcasm, that's a bit of jest, we're not going to delve into it.
But I can't have a bit of sarcasm. I can't have a little bit of back in my team.
You said, why are you being excited? The whole argument isn't about your actual point of their team. You think teams are better than Chelsea to win it.
Okay,
that's fine. It's the point where you said, why are you as fans excited because you can't win? Like, you're not going to win it, or your chances of winning it are slim. That's all it is. The exciting point.
We're moving away from this now because otherwise it's just going to be on repeat. Everyone who's tuning in, do us a big favor and smash that like button. Let's get this past 1,000 likes. The draw is starting very, very soon. I want to go through this and ask. I'm going to ask the Arsenal fans and the United fans this question. I'm going to go to United first. Neeks, who do you want in the next round? Who would be your favourable and preferred draw, mate?
Listen, I ain't got nothing to prove to no one. I want the easiest path to the final possible. I'm not here at the end of it to be like, oh, look how hard our draw was. This is the best Europa League win of all. I don't care. I want Granada. I want Slavia Prague to play. Who's the other team again? I forgot. Zagreb. I want Granada next. I want Slavia Prague to play Zagreb, and I want one of them in the semis, and then I want, I don't know, give me Ajax in the final. I want the easiest possible draw to this final and hopefully to win it. We've had hard draws in many competitions and in many European wins. I don't care this season. Just win the trophy, innit? Win the trophy.
How about yourself, KJ?
Yep, I'm on the knees. I'm on my knees. Give me the easiest thing, bruv. I'm tired of these hard draws. We had the Sociedad.
KJ, look at the Champions League. Look at the Champions League. We had the
listen, PSG, RB Leipzig. I'm tired. Give me Granada. Give me freaking Zagreb. Give me Slavia Prague. Give me them. Let the other ones, let Arsenal prove that they're good enough. Because look at their draws. They've had the Benficas. They had Olympiacos. Give them a test. You know what I'm saying? Give all the other teams a test. Let us have our time off.
Let
us have our time off.
Guys. So yeah, I'm going to go to the Arsenal fans now. Egal, who do you want? Are there any specific? I don't want the easiest draws, but are there any specific teams you want where you're looking at and you're going to celebrate if they come out in the draw?
Let me just say the other way first. I don't want Unai Emery because it's a revenge story. I don't want Henrik Mkhitaryan because it's a revenge story. I don't want Manchester United because it's going to be social media out at war. And I don't want Slavia Prague because they've gone and beaten Rangers and Leicester. I want to face either Granada or even the team that Tottenham lost to, because we'll show Tottenham how to beat that team. And I'm not even worried about Ajax. So those are the three teams I would take. Ajax, I would take Dinamo Zagreb or Granada.
Hey, Dusan will spin you.
I know we said we weren't going backwards on this, but we've got what a very logical super chat here that says Chelsea are the 4th favourites to win. That's an actual fact on the bookmakers. But the 3 other teams better than them are playing each other. So by process of elimination, they've just become the 2nd favourites. That's actually very true. That's on a probability basis. That's right. That's right. Because factually, by the final, two of the main favourites. In fact, all of the main favourites could be
gone. All of them could be gone.
It's highly likely, as a guarantee, 2 of them will be out. It's an absolute fact. So that's very, very true. Kesh, from your point of view, when you look at the draw, do you agree with Gal in terms of who you want, don't want to avoid, etc.?
Personally, I think if you get to a quarter-final, it doesn't really matter who you play. You have to turn up on the day and make the competition yours. Like, yes, it comes with a bit of luck and everything, but you've got to play the best in the final anyway. You have to. And this, what KJ said about give Arsenal a test, I wasn't airing that. When we played Everton and I came on and I said, we will beat whoever we go. We'll beat Benfica. You all shut me down. So don't say, give Arsenal an easy draw. Arsenal has played 2 teams that was in Champions League. 2 teams that was in Champions League competition. So how can you say there wasn't their easy draw?
Well, Olympiacos were the draw. Okay, Benfica.
They played Champions League. They were in Champions League.
So they're not Champions. They play Champions League. They play Champions League just because their country's allowed to have 1 champion in there, bro. It's not literally. It's not because they're the 6 team, bro.
Kesh, you know what I'll say? With the Champions League, I agree. In the end, you have to play the best. What, like Chelsea? You look at Chelsea's draw. In the end, they're gonna have to play one of the best teams in the competition. So you have to play the best to win it. In the Europa League, you don't. You don't have to play the best because they're not many great teams. When we won it under Jose Mourinho, that was one of the easiest paths through to a final, and I wasn't complaining. So you don't have to play the best in such a competition, but I get the theory of it.
But the reason why I'm saying this is because it doesn't matter if you play an easy team and you don't turn up. You've got to turn up no matter who you play. This is the last. This is the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, finals. When it gets to this stage,
I
it does not
understand
matter who you play.
From your point of view, like you lost. I mean, it kind of got swept under the carpet because of what happened to Tottenham, and rightfully so. You lost last night to Olympiacos. Mm-hmm. Are you confident you can progress to the final?
I'm confident, Terry. Listen, we lost last night because we rotated. We played guys like Tobias as the number 10. It wasn't really connecting. It wasn't connecting the midfield to the forward. So there wasn't no cohesion like what we've seen over the last few weeks. It wasn't there. When you saw the likes of Odegaard came on and Partey, it looked a bit more shored up and everything. And let's not forget, we had tons of chances to put that game away. The players just didn't turn up to that game. But when you go into the next leg now, you expect to play a stronger outfit. You can get the job done. And let's face it, when we got our job done in the first leg.
I think the great thing Arsenal have got in their favour, and this is the positive here, is that you don't have to worry about the league. You can put all your eggs into the Europa League basket. No FA Cup. You're done in the league. You're not getting into a Champions League place. So you might as well. The irony in it is you're probably better off avoiding the UEFA Conference or the Europa League next year and going all out, if you get what I mean, and focusing and putting all your eggs into this basket than anything else, in my opinion. So I think you've got an advantage there, which I think can help you. And you have found some decent form recently. I wouldn't say it's as good as some people have made out. We did a little bit of research into that in the last few days. And still in your last 14 games, you've only won 6. And I think you've lost 4 or 5 of them. Like there still needs to be a big improvement. But Europa League, you've been pretty strong in. Danny's with us now. What do you want to say, Dan?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I think we should win this competition. I'm looking at the teams in it. Arsenal, the one team I don't want to draw, just because Arteta seems to have Ollie's number. Let's just keep it real. He seems to have Ollie's number. The way they set up, they just restrict us, and their front three just raise their game because it's Manchester United. But beyond Arsenal, I'm looking at Zagreb, Grenada, Roma, Villarreal. I think someone else has made some points about Spanish teams just not being great against English teams this season. Spanish league hasn't been great this season. So for me, there's really just as Kesh said, you turn up on the day, it doesn't matter who you draw, you beat that team. Like, I don't think, if you're an Arsenal fan as well, looking at it, this is your chance to get Champions League football, because you're not going to get it in the league. You're not going to get it in the league. You have to go all out to win this competition. And there's really, I don't think anybody should be scared of anybody looking at this draw. I think everybody should be looking at this, rubbing their hands, saying, you know what, if my team do what they're supposed to do, we should win. And as a Man United fan, that's just how I feel. I'm looking at this saying, you know what, we got to the semi-finals last season. At the very least, we need to get to the semi-finals again. And this season, we have to get over that hump and get to a final. And it's just a one-off game at that point. And no excuses. No, there is no excuses. There's no excuses at all. Look, we've got our best players coming back now. We've had a difficult period. Although Terry read out our form. What was it, Terry? Seven draws, 7 wins, undefeated. Yeah. 10 clean sheets. That's crazy to me. Yeah. The way we moan about our defense every single game, the fact we've had, it just shows you how football fans don't always have the right perspective.
Well, I also looked at it and compared it to last season. So again, I'm still advocating what I've said many times. I do think we may have found a ceiling with Ollie. If Ollie goes on and wins trophies this year, then he's proven me wrong, and I'll accept that. But compared to last season, we've scored 20% more goals. We've conceded about 15% less. We have 6 more clean sheets now than we had at this stage last season. We've won more games, and we've lost. I think we've lost 8 in all comps so far this year. I think we've lost about 13, 14 at this point last season, only 4 in the league. Man United's progression is clear to be seen, and that's why I look at our squad, and I agree with Danny, with the players coming back, with the quality and strength and depth that we've got, and you compare it to last season when we got to the semi and fell away. Like, we've got Cavani now. I want to see Donny van der Beek has to be utilised for me in these latter rounds. One, because I think Bruno, as an example, looks absolutely exhausted. You saw yesterday when Pogba came on with better ball playing skills than the rest of our team. Everybody else became better. And as me and KJ alluded to earlier, it's an obvious thing, right? This isn't something a football fan should be taught, that when you bring on a Paul Pogba, the reason it makes everybody else better is, one, he elevates people, but it's the extra space he gives everybody. Because when Pogba comes on, you have to double up on him, which means somebody else has more space. And that's why Man United, that's why Cities are so strong, because you can't double up on people. I remember listening to Fergie speak after we got beat by Barca in the second Champions League final. And someone alluded to the point of, like, how do you kind of stop Messi? And he said, well, you can't really put a plan in action for him, because if you stuck 2 players on him, it means Xavi and Iniesta have got all the time in the world to operate in and have too much space. With Man United, if you double up on Pogba and you double up on Bruno, it gives everybody else more time and space. And that's why we're getting these players back. It's going to help us massively. We need more moving forward, as an example. But I'm really excited about it. Go on, mate.
Another thing I wanted to add as well, one of the reasons why I think we actually got knocked out of the Champions League, other than Ollie's incompetence, is that we're not experienced in the Champions League. But in the Europa League, actually, we're quite experienced. We've won it before. We've got to the latter stages before under Mourinho, under LVG. Obviously, we got to the semis last season. This team is actually equipped for this competition. Unfortunately, this is our level at the moment. And this is, for me, this is the hump that this team needs to get over. Go and win this competition, and then you can focus on bigger and better things after that. But I think actually we've got the experience to actually do well in this competition and the quality.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, Danny?
I was going to say, it's a question to the United fans. Obviously, we're seeing all these things that happen on the TL about Ollie's incompetence and da-di-da-di-da. And I've been someone who said, look, we understand. If you're saying Ollie's not the guy to win you trophies, fair enough. But to say he hasn't done a good job, you're just being blinded, and you're just using the fact that you don't like him to just hide behind the fact that he's actually been successful for his qualities as a manager. So my question to you, man, is if Ollie wins the Europa League, let's say he does win the Europa League and he finishes second, what next? Because he's not getting sacked, and he's going to get considerably more time.
There's no if he wins if he wins and gets second, what next? It don't matter what happens. What next? You know what I mean? Because he's not going nowhere, even if he loses the the Europa League, loses the FA Cup, and drops out of the top 4, he ain't going nowhere. Because actually, in the top 4 maybe, yeah. But if you stay in top 4 and we don't do anything, the cups ain't going nowhere because of the new structure, the new setup that we have. Because so what next is, what do the board want? That's what's next. Because you've got this new structure, we've got clear holes in the team, and we've got an okay base in terms of to grow as a team and a squad. What do they want to do next? It's not about Oli wants, because Oli wants the best for Man United. He wants them to be the best. That's clear to see. That's what he wants. But if he's not getting the players that they want, if this new structure doesn't work, all that is for now.
I'll go a step further, Daniel. So basically, if Oli finishes second and wins the Europa League, it's over to the board in the summer. Now there's more pressure for you to deliver, because even that the fan base that for me give the Glazers and Woodward are out with Oli, right? So we don't win a trophy, we don't do this. We win a trophy and we finish second. There's no excuses now. Yeah. You have to deliver the players that Manchester United need to go to the next level. And the next level is winning a title. And I doing better in the Champions League.
And I completely agree. Sorry, Danny. I completely agree with that, because I want to touch on something with Arsenal in a minute as well. It's everybody that says that Oli isn't good enough to win to win trophies, and I'm one of them that doesn't know if he is. We're all dead and buried with that. That opinion of ours is dead and buried. It's over. If he wins the FA Cup and the Europa League, you're absolutely finished. You then can't deny that he can win trophies with this squad. It then, as we say, it goes down to the board. We know we need better strength in depth. We know we need more creators in our team, better ball playing midfielders, etc. We need more Paul Pogbas as opposed to more sort of goal scoring type players like the Bruno Fernandezes. Will we back him in the summer and actually get that done? I don't know, because we just know what this board is like. I wanted to kind of flip that question for Arsenal, though. Obviously, Gal, you put out the sort of message the other day: if Arsenal finish 10th and win the Europa League, is it progression? I think Arteta winning 2 trophies in his first 2 years as a manager would be a very good start for any coach. There's no doubt about that. What if you don't win the Europa League, Gal? So the flip side to that, where does Arteta go from there if he's regressed in the league and then not won a trophy? Because if winning the trophy means you've progressed, what if you go out in the quarterfinals and then finish 10th in the league? Where does that leave Arsenal?
We've gotten worse from last season, and we need to go into the summer with some heavy surgery, because we already have so many players that have left our books, and this is a massive summer for us already based on the amount of players that have gone off the books already. So we're just going to have to go into the summer with more motivation, more ambition to try to fix our situation. And if we completely avoid Europe in general and we're in 10th, it could be a blessing in disguise in the long run.
Can you attract the better players that you need, though, if you've got no European football at all?
We don't need to attract the ready-made superstars. We don't need to attract the players that are already top echelon. We don't need to get those players. We need to get players that have the motivation and the effort to grow as individual footballers and become better players themselves. And it's more the character of the player, not the level of the player, because we have a character issue at the club. When it comes to mentality, when it comes to people just absolutely switching off, making silly mistakes. And you can actually buy quality players without going getting Thiago Alcantara. You can get a Basuma. You can get a Sander Bergs. You can get a Max Aarons from the Championship as a backup right back. You can get a Patsindaka as a striker. You can get quality. You don't need to buy at the top.
Sorry, KJ. So let me follow up, KJ, because it's interesting what Agar was saying. But you wanted Aouar badly. Can you get him if you don't have European football? Because that's who
I don't think
to
so.
Come and party.
I don't think we can. I don't think we can get Aouar. But at the same time, financially, we could. But I don't know if he would choose to come to Arsenal. If you guys are asking me if he would choose to come to Arsenal, I don't know. But can we? Yes, we can.
It's beginning.
The draw's starting now, people. So we're gonna start.
I know we're just gonna get.
Here we go. First name out of the hat. Make sure you're smashing that like button, everybody. We're nearly on 1,000 likes. First name out is Granada. Out first.
Okay.
Everybody would take this. Everybody would take this. You know that Arsenal, Man United would take it.
Bro. Stop talking.
I'm not scared of the people. Is it the people that make Coronation Street? Is it them? Is it them? Granada's. That's all I think of whenever I hear that. Right. Next name out of the draw. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Is it Arsenal? Is it Man United?
United. Come on.
I said this yesterday. I said you don't get it.
Come on, that's good. That's good. We can
We're
work
in the
with that.
semis. We're in the
We can work with
semis.
that. We can work with that. We can work
That's
with
right.
that.
Got that. That's cool, man. I don't
His
know.
famous last words. We're in the semis.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we can work with it.
I'm saying we're in the semis. That's a
I'm
great
saying we can
draw.
work with that.
That's a good
Work
draw.
with
That's
that.
a good draw.
It's a good draw.
Arsenal.
David, you can't talk. You made your web.
Yo, Kesh, man, I want to kick you because you always do this.
Arsenal are out. Arsenal are out. Who are Arsenal going to get in the next round?
Okay, remember, everyone, we have to wait.
Who are
Kesh,
Arsenal
don't
gonna
do
get
this
in?
again.
My prediction's Roma.
Stop chatting and get the draw done.
Ajax.
Yo, listen.
Get the draw
Please.
done. Smash the like button, please, people. Got an announcement in a minute as
Someone
well.
send me.
Oh, beat Ajax, beat Villarreal.
Oh, they're full.
It's going to be an easy one, isn't it? Who they got?
Slavia Prague.
Slavia Prague. That's a
Okay.
nice draw for
That's a
Arsenal.
good draw. That's a good draw.
Guaranteed semi-final.
That's a
for
terrible draw. That's a terrible
No,
draw.
it's
That's a
not.
great draw, bro.
You
That's a
literally
great
said
draw.
you would take them.
What are you
You
talking
literally
about?
said-
I said I wouldn't take them.
No,
Why?
why? You literally said, and I remember it. You said, "Let's get Slavia Prague so we can show
Ajax
Tottenham how
out
to beat
next.
them."
Ajax are the second
No,
out
that
here.
diamond of diagram.
What you want, guys, one sec. What you want to see now is you want to see Ajax get someone like Villarreal, and then it drops one of the again or Roma, and then you know another big team's going out. But none of us get excited, Gal. Oh, is it going to be here? Who's going to be up against Ajax? Just get on. We want to see the name.
That's a good.
Roma.
Nice.
Roma. Roma.
Nice.
Two of the big one of the big two, another big two are gone.
Okay,
Great
so now
draws.
we need to hope that those two, Arsenal, get that quarterfinal as their next. As their
Yes,
next
that's
game.
what I hope for.
That's fine. That's
last
what I
two
need to
teams
hope.
out there, that's going to be Villarreal and Dynamo
Villarreal, Dynamo Zagreb.
Dynamo Zagreb.
Ooh, okay, quarterfinal 4 is what I want to see.
Yeah.
Quarterfinal 1.
KJ, we're gonna get three. I bet you, KJ, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that one, KJ. We're gonna get.
If we
Arsenal
get
Roma, we'll get Roma tie.
Arsenal
We'll
Man
get
United
Roma tie.
final would be great.
I can deal with the Roma tie. I can deal with it.
An
It's just that I
Arsenal Man
can't deal with the
United
Arsenal tie.
semi-final would be great, and Arsenal win, and then they get knocked out in the final.
Just a quick announcement, people. We've just passed 186,000 subscribers on the Football Terrace. So a massive thank you to everyone that's subscribed. Keep hitting that like and that share button. It's really important to us as well. I need to go back through the super chats when this draw ends, though, because I need to check if anybody predicted all the rounds right, if they won the prize. Remember, you can still, well, you can't really super chat in now because the draws have happened. It'd be a bit of a cheat. They are time step. Do you know what I mean? Someone tries to finesse it. Here's the quarterfinal draw coming up. This is going to be big.
Come on, semi-final draw. Give me quarterfinal 1 and 4. That's what I want to see.
1 and 4, baby. Yeah, 1 and 4. That's what we want here.
No, 1 and 2. 1 and
Just
2.
for the, David, just for the timeline, I want an Arsenal Man United final. That would be the best.
Yeah,
No, because
we need one of
because one of
them.
them wins. No, because one of them wins in the end.
The Lions stalking the gazelle.
Quarterfinal 1's out.
The number 1's out. So number 1 is Man United. That's out. So big. Oh, come on! What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I don't know. What is gonna happen here? It's coming out. Coming up. So you better get this party started. Party started. It's gonna be number.
I told you.
Three.
What did I tell you, KJ?
You know what? Listen. Like Ajax or Roma, they're not as hard as AC Milan, and they're not as they're Real Sociedad level. We can beat them, so I'm okay with that. I'm not scared of Roma or Ajax.
Miguel. Now I'll say Arsenal. I've got a very good chance to win the Europa League. Like you have to, literally, you have to make the final. You have to make the final.
Yeah, you literally now Arsenal have got no tough teams to play now.
Villarreal is
yeah, but they're not. But for me, I don't think they're any better than Benfica.
Fair enough. True.
You know what I mean? Like
they're seventh in Spain. Quite early.
Exactly. So for me, Arsenal should be in that fight. By the way, it should be an Arsenal Manchester United final.
Yeah, it should be.
Zero excuse. Arsenal Man United final every single day of the week. What? That's the Europa. I'll tell you who's buzzing right now. The Europa League, because an Arsenal Man United final, viewing wise, is going to be as big as the Champions League final. It's going to be. In fact, it might get, depending on who makes the final.
I'm telling you, warm balls, fam. They know what they're doing. They have to. They
The
have
warm
to
balls
wait.
are real. They're real.
They
The
have
warm
to wait
balls
for
are
that
real.
final, bro. They have to. The warm
Wow.
balls.
I mean, what a. I mean, Gal, how happy are you with Arsenal's route to the final?
You know what? I honestly don't care. We have to beat Slavia Prague first. No, seriously, because this is a team that beat Rangers and they beat Leicester over 2 legs. We cannot take those mugs. And then after that, if we get Unai Emery, this is a man who on the record says he wants to play Arsenal because he's going to knock us out. So
the question for you is: are you still back in your earlier statement? If you don't get to the final, have Arsenal bottled it?
yeah, because we are the second favorites.
So you're happy with your route to the final then?
I'm not happy. I'm not happy that we're going to be facing Unai Emery. If I could have it my way, I wouldn't. That's one thing I would have switched. Unai Emery.
So
for
Man
Ajax.
United had the easier draw than Arsenal in your view then?
Man United have had the harder draw. I'm not going to lie to you.
So yeah, cool. Then I'd be happy if I was you, then, bro. We're gonna throw a few more people into the stream here. Samuel's
I'm going to take off.
all right, mate. Take care, mate. Lincoln's here, back with us. Ram's back with us as
I'm
well.
not going to get excited, man.
What are you saying, Samuel?
Bro, my heart rate has just gone up 100 times because I can't take the timeline on the 26th of May if the Arsenal Man United make the final. Because listen, that day, whoever loses, they're just done. They're just done. Because oh my God, Terry, I'm just trembling. I'm literally shaking right now just thinking about it. Oh my God, because Arsenal, please don't let me down, bro. Just beat Slavia Prague, beat Unai Emery, and then the timeline will be a mess. You know, whoever wins this game for years, 10, 15 years to come, they'll be talking about this.
I mean, do you know what? If both Man United and Arsenal do their jobs and get themselves to the final, it's epic. I mean, we are also looking, because of these draws, we could see we could get all English finals, you know, again, like a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? We could actually get all English finals again here. Once again, proving to all the Premier League haters that we are the best team. We are the best league, out there. The draw's been favourable to all of us. We all have to admit, barring City have had a tough draw, but Liverpool, we haven't really touched on them today. Arsenal, Man United, and Chelsea have probably had almost the best draws possible. And I know Man United could end up facing Ajax or Roma, but we've beaten better teams. Like, do you know what I mean?
Who would you rather have, Terry, out of those two, Ajax or Roma?
I would. Do you know what? I kind of feel. Do you know what? I kind of feel like Ajax. Do you know why?
Yeah,
Ajax are going to open up and play football, and Man United might be able to exploit them. They're not as good as they were a few years ago. A lot of their stars have gone. I know they've got some good quality players still, but I think Ajax would. What will happen if we play Ajax and beat them? What you'll hear from Ollie's haters is they played into our hands. So I want to go up against teams that will play into our hands. Roma will be hard to break down, difficult. Mike Smalling will end up having a World Cup tournament.
No, who'd you rather see? The question is, who'd you rather see? Would you rather see Mike Smaldini, or would you rather see Daily Blind back? Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, exactly. I mean it with respect. I would prefer Ajax out of the two. That's who I would. That's who I would choose.
I miss Daily Blind as well. I want to see his beautiful face.
You know what I clocked?
Yeah. From what I saw of Ajax in the Champions League, I'd rather play Roma. I'd rather play a worse footballing team than a good footballing team. And for me, I actually done better against Liverpool as well. They put it on Liverpool.
That's true.
So yeah, I'd definitely rather take Roma than Ajax every day.
You know what?
But we should get to the final regardless. No excuses.
Oh yeah, Mkhitaryan's there as well, isn't he?
Oh yeah, Mkhitaryan's there.
Mental midget.
Revenge.
No, Igal, you know, I was thinking if Villarreal knock us out, the Arteta outers are gonna be on a mad one.
Final. That's a great.
I said that before.
Yeah,
Unai Emery actually on record, Unai Emery has said he wants to face us so he can knock us out.
Yeah,
over 2 legs as well.
Yeah, I mean, but again, as you say, the subplot, the Arteta outers, because social media fans are a massive part of football now, more so than ever before. That subplot, as you say, of the Arteta outers, because if Arteta dumps him, if Arteta smacks him up over 2 legs, the Arteta out crew are absolutely in the mud. But if it goes the other way, it just gives them all the fuel in their fire, because Agal, who's probably the biggest Arteta supporter on social media, has said, if we don't win this tournament and we finish 10th or 9th, we've gone backwards. It gives all the Arteta outers all the fuel in the world that they need. It's going to be interesting. I want to ask Danny this question. you think Man United are going to win the Europa? Do you think Ollie can do it from this point?
Listen, I think we can win the Europa League. Honestly, why would I not be confident that we can win the Europa League? We're the best team in the competition. We're the best team in the competition. It's a hump that we have to get over. But like I said before, we have Europa League experience. We're experienced for this competition. I can't give us the excuse that I gave us in the Champions League. Part of it was Ollie, but for me, part of it was in that 15, 20 minutes against Leipzig, the players could have organised themselves not to go 2-0 down. You go 1-0 down, fine. But 2-0 down in 20 minutes, that's players not having the mental strength and experience in that competition, in that scenario. But for the Europa League, we need to get over. We need to rectify. We need to get some redemption from what happened last season. The second half against Sevilla, we should have won that game in the first 10, 15 minutes of the second half and got to the final, and we let ourselves down. We can't let that happen again.
No, I agree. I agree completely. I agree completely. We have to be doing that. Lincoln, what's your thoughts, young man?
Listen, I'm so excited. I have to draw on my screen. It's a beautiful draw. It is a beautiful draw. What Granada, and then you have Ajax versus Roma. You have a easy test in the quarterfinals, and you have a bigger test, but not that big of a test in the semi-finals. And you have Arsenal waiting for us.
I hear that. KJ, what's harder for say Man United make the final and we play Arsenal? What would be the harder game? Arsenal in the final or Ajax or Roma in the semis?
It's always going to be Arsenal in the final because there's more on it. There's more to it. It's not just two teams from two different nations going up against each other in a one-off game. It's two teams from the same nation, two teams that have got history, two teams that are rivals, two teams that have probably the craziest and the weirdest and the strangest fan bases in the world and on Twitter. It's going to be carnage, and the pressure on that game for both sets of teams is going to be mad. Both sets of managers is going to be mad. Both sets of players is going to be mad. So, if we make it past Ajax or Roma, which I believe we can, I'd rather see Villarreal. I'd rather see it. In terms of just spectacle, in terms of just everything around it, I'd rather see. Yeah, there may be a better football inside than Arsenal. We'll see. We'll come see that later. But I'd rather face Villarreal than Arsenal in the final. I can't even lie, just because Arsenal judge is real. It's real.
Oh no!
I think yeah. Go on, Danny. Sorry, Daniel.
Just quickly, if I'm throwing a bit of salt, if Man United play Arsenal in the final of the Europa League, all the pressure in the world is on them. They have to do it because Chelsea done it already, and we're going to be looking at you and just thinking you just got to do it. Pressure's on you, man. That's what I think personally.
Well, we've already done it.
But this is the thing, Daniel. So
yes, we've already won the Europa League.
No. He's talking about beating Arsenal.
You know what, Daniel? I'm not. You know why I'm not worried about that? I don't think Arsenal will get into the final. I think they're going to drop the ball. Arsenal are going to drop the ball. They're not getting to the final.
I like it.
They're going to drop the ball. They're going to bottle it. They're not getting to the final.
They have to get past the Slavia Prague team that beat Rangers and Leicester and Villarreal under Unai Emery. That just smells of a slip up, fam.
No. The Slavia Prague game, they do.
What you saying? I love the way you're saying that. Like, so you ain't got to get past Ajax, you ain't got to get past Roma. As if this is just a one-sided thing. Like Man United is going to walk their way there. Personally, for me, I would love to have Man United in the final. I would love for Twitter to crash. Well, that's what's going to happen. Twitter's going to crash, and I want it to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make
because if it crashes for you, would you want that?
No, it's gonna. I'm talking about the build-up towards it.
Yeah.
I'm loving the rivalry, banter. I want it. I'm claiming it. Let's make it happen. Why should we not want an all-English final? It's not like when Liverpool played Tottenham. It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be a ball game. It's going to be two teams that's going to want to go for it.
You know what? I would like an all-English. Do you know what it comes down? When you think of an all-English final, there's more pressure on both of us because if you lose, it's always more embarrassing to lose someone from your own country in that way because the banter's real. It's at home and everything. But yeah, I'd love an all-English final. It proves that, in the last 4 or 5 years, our league's the most dominant, and I like that coming out on top. Why would I not? It's the league my team plays in, so I support it. And I would love to be. I'm not saying we beat Arsenal outright; it's a one-off game, and Arteta has got a hold over the way Ollie plays. His record against him is superior. So you have to then make Arsenal favourites in the final in a one-off game based on history. But I would love the opportunity. I'd love the opportunity to be the team that stops the trophy and sees Arsenal finishing 10th. So Miguel has to sit on this stream and say we've gone backwards this season under Arteta. So as a rival fan, that's not a bitter thing. That's what I'd love to happen. But you always run that risk that they turn up and beat you. Yes, Miguel.
Bring on the social media derby, as Cash said. Yeah, you have to. If that happens, it happens. But guess what? Arteta has actually gotten to a cup final. Ollie first has to get past that semi-final curse that he has. And you know what? When it comes down to it, Arsenal, as bad as we've been, this whole 15, 17 years, you guys are talking about how bad we've been. You know, one thing we've been a cup team. You cannot lie to yourselves and say we have not been a cup team. In the FA Cups, we've shown that we can knock out big competition and get there. We've shown that we can win trophies against teams that people say, like the Chelsea team that we had no business beating. Certain teams that people have said we had no business beating the past couple of years ago with Antonio Conte. Like, we've done this before, and we've done it in our past history also. Even when Arsenal were not that good in the early 90s, after we started winning our titles in 89, we struggled and we became a cup team. This is a history of Arsenal. We've become cup teams, and we get to these finals and we lose sometimes. Sometimes we win.
Let me correct that. FA Cup team.
No, we've done this in Europe too.
How have you? Because you haven't won.
We've won the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah, but you're saying you've become a cup team, like you've won multiple different cups in this little space of span that you're talking about.
We've won at least 5.
Yeah, but KJ,
you've won mainly FA Cups.
KJ, I understand what you're saying.
Doesn't take away from my point.
Hold on. KJ, I understand what you're saying, and I see what you're trying to bring that shot at us. But then you can equally say, on the Ollie, you've not been a team that wins anything.
Yeah, but we're not denying that.
Listen, it's irrelevant. Arsenal's the cup team. Yes, we've not got over to the final stage in the Europa League, but we've been there or thereabouts. We get to the semi-finals, we get to the finals. So now it's about us.
Yeah,
just getting to the final stage.
So much that when Unai Emery lost the Europa League final, that was the end of him. So imagine if Mikel Arteta gets there and he loses his final. Or is this going to be the end of Mikel Arteta? You know, there's so many storylines going into this game that we just don't know what's going to happen.
Look, I think on that point, I think it depends on the run towards the end of the season. So if you end the season strong and then lose the final, no. You end the season, let's just say in your last 9 games, you lose 5 of them badly, and then you lose the final. It could. I think there has to be more than one factor at play that would end Arteta not winning this. Going out in the next round to Slavia Prague and ending the league badly could actually be worse than getting to the final and losing it, because you've got out against it. You know, you lose to Man United in the final, that isn't embarrassing. And then it always depends how you lose. I think one of the final nails in the coffin for Unai Emery was how you got beat up in the final as well. It wasn't like you didn't lose 2-1 in a brilliant final where it was 50-50. You were absolutely ripped from pillar to post. And if that happens, that's when you could find yourselves in that situation. But look, it's a great draw. It really is for all the English clubs, really, barring Man City. But then Man City are superior to everybody else at the minute. So for them, they shouldn't. They're one of the
favorites. All English final for both leagues.
Yeah, it could. It really.
Terry, can I clear something out? Because someone in the chat is trying to say I'm overly confident. No, I'm not overly confident. If you watch the previous streams I've been on, I said I expect Arsenal to get to the semi-final. After that, it's over to us to break that barrier and do something that we've not done before. I'm not saying that we're going to go and beat Man United in the final, because as I said, it's a one-off game. Any team can win that game. But I expect Arsenal to get past the semi-final. It's as simple as that for me.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I look at that draw. Arsenal should be getting to that final because they're better than Slavia Prague, they're better than Villarreal, and they're better than Dynamo Zagreb, in my opinion. Especially based, if we look at Igal's logic of the growth and the growth and movement forward in Arsenal since Christmas. If we're talking Arsenal pre-Christmas, no, you're not better than those teams, but you are now. So you like Man United, you have to make yourselves favourites to make the final, and then in a one-off game over 2 legs, I think we could beat Arsenal. One-off game against Arsenal, I'm not convinced because of the Ollie Arteta situation, the clash of systems and whatnot. But you know what? We get you in the final, and that's the one game in the last year and a half that we've beaten you, I'd forgive all those other losses. It'll forgive 1-0 loss early in the season. We'll win trophy. So
it's like our record against Man City. If you look at when we win, it's when it doesn't matter the most. When they've beaten us really the most time, it's been in the Carabao Cup semi-finals over the last 2 years. When you look at the last 2 years, which ones were more important for Man United? The league wins or the wins in the semi-finals? So I feel like these games are important. And like you say, Terry, in these important moments, if we beat them in the important moments, and then in the league we lose to them and that, I take that. You know what I mean? Because at the end result is us getting a trophy. Them beating us and drawing with us this season, and if they don't win a trophy, leads them to winning 10th. So
absolutely, yeah. In a singular season, there's no doubt about
Can
it.
I ask something?
You go on, mate.
Is it just me that just knew we were going to get Villarreal? I swear these balls, yeah.
I told you.
Oh,
yeah,
I knew it. I said it's gonna happen.
I get a tinfoil hat top.
But do you know what it is? It's football. Like, I get people say it's that. Football is romantic. And I know Ram is actually backstage. I didn't see he was backstage. Ram will know that. Like, football's romantic. It's about stories. These things happen. Every single year, you always see it. I feel like you always see a January signing, and then I don't know, Joe Bloggs moves teams, but then plays his old team within a game or two. Or how often do you see you play a team in the league, but then you draw them again for a week later in the cup? It seems to happen all the time. These kind of stories and subplots always you look at the Dortmund Man City situation. You've got the Sancho story, the Haaland story. It brings you all together in that way. I just feel there's always like a connection.
Also, it's Chelsea, the Mourinho derby.
Yeah, like you get a bit of that in there. Harry here says, Terry, if English teams win the Champions League and Europa League, does that affect the top four? No, I looked at that last night actually. So if Arsenal win it, or Liverpool win it, but they're outside the top four stays the same, and the winners go in. So you can have up to 5 people in it. Where it becomes difficult,
or if they both win it,
Arsenal win the Europa League and Liverpool win the Champions League, I believe 4th place goes.
Yeah, if they both finish outside the top 4.
Yes. So for instance, so that's what happens. So because you can only have a maximum of 5 people in the tournament. So if Arsenal were to win it, this would be mad. Imagine how Chelsea fans would feel. Champions League final is won by Liverpool. Say Liverpool win it as an example, right? They get to the final and they win it. Well, that comes the other way around though. So the Europa League finals first. If Arsenal are in the final and Chelsea finished 4th, they're gonna have to pray for a Man United win. If Liverpool are in the final of the Champions League, that could happen, but it is a long shot. So the 4th place team could lose out. But the likelihood of both Arsenal and Liverpool getting to the final and winning it is quite slim based on form and favourites. But you never know. Football's a strange game. That's romance. But can you imagine how you would feel as Chelsea fans? Can you imagine that?
That would be the biggest L.
Guys, let me ask you guys a question. All season, you guys were saying Arsenal don't have a chance to winning the actual Europa League. Now that you see the draw and you see that Manchester United on the other end, do you still say we don't have a chance of winning it, or do you say obviously now we do have?
No. So I would base it on. I'd base it on the logic we gave that Super Chat gave earlier. A couple of rounds ago, AC Milan were in this tournament. Inter Milan were in this tournament. When we were talking about that, Spurs are playing much better than they are now, and they were in the tournament. That's 3 extra teams that are now out through. Well, Spurs is embarrassing. Real Sociedad are in this. Leicester were in this. They've all been knocked out. So you go from, in my opinion, at that time when all those teams were in it, I'd have put you 5th or 6th favourites based on your form at the time we said that. A lot of those teams are out, so by proxy, you become one of the favourites. Like you move up the echelon. Do you know what I mean? If Bayern Munich and PSG don't make the final, they're not favourites anymore. like just because they're out. So you've moved up. You've got a chance now because the draw's opened up for you. And that's what's amazing about cup competitions is that big teams can knock each other out, and that's why I like seeing them all drawn against each other. What does that say?
New sponsorship deal for Man United, but no longer with Chevrolet. We're going to something called Team Viewer.
Put it on the screen.
It's called Team Viewer. That's who we're going to be.
They must be worth a lot of bloody money. They must be worth a lot of money. Listen, got a few more super chats to do here. Spurs missed out in 2012 because we won it. Yes, this is true. And that's because somebody win the Europa League that year as well. No, that's because
no. This is before.
No, the rule was different that season.
Yeah,
That's
the rule was different back then. Yeah.
What do you think about Roma and Ajax? We sort of spoke on that already. Good teams,
tie.
but Man United should be beating them. It's a good tie. I just want to go back through the old super chat. Did anybody predict? I want to see if anybody predicted the draw right. Now, Strip Bear said Chelsea versus Bayern Munich. That didn't happen. Oh, Strip Bear's just done a mad one. Strip Bear just did a mad one, as I mentioned in earlier super chat. Strip Bear has said here, Terry, read this out as a front show. Read this out. As fonts show my colours, much being a moderator doesn't seem right. Chelsea are going to win the going to win the Champions League. Saying it now, so we'll be judged. Come on, Chelsea, banter me. Remember,
Can I just quickly say something? Yeah. Remember 2005 when the last time Istanbul hosted the Champions League final in the semi-finals, a certain Luis Garcia scored a ghost goal against a certain Chelsea side. All I'm saying. History,
you know what, Rams? If you want to do,
why weren't you brave enough to say that earlier when they're all here?
What do you mean? What do you mean? I just thought of it right now.
No, what it is, Ram was like, oh no, I'm not going to say it when Anita's on because Anita will drill me.
No, honestly, I thought of it. When I was backstage, I thought of it then. I was like,
Ram, if you want to do coincidences, when we played in 2012, if you remember our ZX goal and you remember against Barcelona, the way we scored Ramirez to Drogba, same left foot cross, same left foot finish. And on top of that, the last time we were in 2012, when we were en route to winning the final, who did we, in the quarters, I believe it was anyway, we played Benfica. I think we got a Portuguese team again in this tie. We can face a Spanish team in the semi-final like we did in 2012. If you want to do coincidences, it's all in our favor.
You all believe in
Again, tinfoil time. You can find the coincidence and patterns in everything. I could look at Man United and say, like, well, I could go right. If we get Ajax, last time we won the Europa League, we played Ajax. If we get Ajax in the semi-finals, that means we're going to win. I mean, I just have a quick look up it. Do you know what I mean? It just is what it is. These things don't. It's always interesting, right? When people throw up history. So you always see when Man City play people, they show the full Premier League history, and I'm like, it's irrelevant showing Man City's Premier League history now, pre-2009, because this ain't the same Man City since they've had money. Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to compare. It's like comparing Chelsea's record in the Premier League or Europe before Roman came in. For me, they're completely different eras of those teams and those clubs. It becomes a nonsense, really, like before. But listen, everyone who's tuned in today, a massive thank you to each and every single one of you. I don't know why Samuel was on screen there. Really appreciate it. Absolutely smashed it. Over 75,000 people tuned in to watch this morning, which is amazing. We're back later on today with a bit of a... I'm not sure what we're doing yet at 5 o'clock today because all I've been focused on is these competitions. But really good draws, I think, for all the English teams, probably barring Manchester City. No excuses for a few to not get to semi-finals and finals this year, there's no doubt. Smash that like button. Thank you to all the super chatters. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all soon. Tottenham, by the way.